WIFT.
That's why we shine wherever we go. 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 Lord, Lord. Welcome to the mind of a pothead. On my head, see a young nigga got dressed. We don't give a fuck what the cop said. I'm living a legacy. So even when I die, I am not dead. Nigga, I am not dead. Fuck with me.
Great afternoon to you wonderful people. Welcome to this Thursday edition of I Said What I Said. We are live from the What's In It for the Black People Media Studios. Toussaint Warner, Herb Howard here every single weekday from 3 to 6 p.m. Thank y'all so very, very much for choosing to be a part of this conversation where we address issues that are impacting the black community, how they impact us as individuals, and how they impact us as a collective. And along with your help, we talk through many of those issues in hopes of finding the optimum solutions for how we can overcome said issues, again, overcome them as individuals, but more importantly, overcome them as a collective. Thank y'all so very, very much for choosing to be a part of that particular discussion. As always, your input is valued. It is certainly appreciated. Anything that you want to add to the conversation, feel free to do so. We will read through as many of your comments as possible while we go through the show. We would kindly request that y'all take a quick moment to share the broadcast by clicking on that little arrow in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Share it to your personal page. Share it even within your personal network. Anyone that you think would find value in or add value to this particular conversation, we welcome them to be a part of the discussion. It is our sincere belief that the more like-minded individuals we can get to be a part of this conversation, the better the opportunities we have of finding the optimum solutions going forward. So please, please, please take a quick second and share the broadcast. Also, if you feel so inclined, you can contribute to the show by clicking on the little gold stars in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. We certainly appreciate each and every one of those. Again, this is I Said What I Said. It is intellectual thuggery at its absolute finest. My name is Herb. His name is Two. What's happening, good brother?
What down, family? I'm blessed and highly favored. How you?
Man, ain't nothing to it, man. If I was doing any better, I'd sell myself. That's really all it is to it, man. I'm in here just hanging out. Maze is hating on my sweater game a lot. Like, I've been, ever since it got like a little cold and I've been pulling my sweaters out, Maze has really been at my head about my sweater game because, you know, I'm a little fat. And as opposed to buying fat people sweaters, I'm just going to wear sweaters that kind of used to fit.
But I heard you tell him that, you know, you being out of shape is the only thing in life that gives him a chance.
That is the only, that is my community service to guys like Maze.
I fully understand.
Like to just be a little out of shape.
I fully understand.
If I was like super fit and cut like Maze,
he wouldn't have a shot
what?
at life, huh?
No chance.
Nobody.
No chance. This is my community service to people like Maze Jackson for me to just be a little bit husky.
You give back. You got to give back. You know
Yeah, God bless me with so much, I have to give these guys a chance.
Yeah, man, you know. Bless your heart.
You know what I'm saying?
Bless your heart.
I would like to give him this swag, but he wouldn't know what to do with it. You know what I'm saying?
He wouldn't, man. He couldn't handle that. That's too much pressure.
That's way too much.
You know
That's way too much.
pressure. And then let me tell you about the hypocrisy of my wife.
Okay.
Right? So, my daughter, you know, they say the sins of the father return upon the son.
Indeed.
So I used to look at my son like, you know, you retarded because I was retarded. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. I was a little bit empathetic to it. You know what I mean? But I fully figured out that it's not my son that's the sin. It's my daughter.
My little one, G.
It's fully my daughter. She's fully just like her daddy. You understand?
Oh, for sure. She's just like you, dog.
So the other day, like, she was driving me crazy.
Uh-huh.
Right? So I'm about to leave out for the day. It's early in the morning. It's like 8:39 in the morning.
Uh-huh.
And she did some completely disrespectful stuff to her brother's room. Like, he ain't there, ain't nothing there. She didn't use his room as storage. She got bed springs, box springs in his room, all kind of just, it's outrageous, right? The door been closed. Ain't nobody had a reason to go in there. So
right.
I ain't even seen what the room
right.
really
What she
looked
does.
like,
That's her
what I mean?
fort.
So I go in there and I was like, man, what is this?
Uh-huh.
So I was like, look here, man. All this better be out of here by the time I get back. Them dishes better
Let me
be
say,
washed.
just how he's saying that right now, this is how Two try to act tough to his daughter, right? Like, he can't, like, you see him talk to his son, it be dead ass shit. Like, boy, you better get your goof. Like, his daughter, he got to get himself in motion. He be like, listen, I'm not playing. I'm serious this time. Don't let me tell you 13 more times. Come on.
Right. So I'm
You get into character.
I say, look, man, you gonna clean this room. Period. You understand me? By the time I get back to this house, this room better be spotless. You understand me?
Right.
So then I was like, and them dishes better be done. I'm talking
Oh,
super
you
stuff.
cash
I'm
money
going
shit
all
right
the
now.
way in, right?
That's some
and them
shit you
dishes
know
better
you
be
ain't
done,
getting.
right? So I can leave out for the day. I'm gone 12 hours. I come home, she's sitting on the couch eating M&M's and popcorn.
Like it's Rego. Like she done knocked out everything.
Like she done knocked out everything. I go upstairs, dishes everywhere. So immediately I'm hot, right?
Heated.
I'm heated. So I yell downstairs like, Bella, what I tell you to do? And she playing dumb, acting like she don't hear me. I said, man, get your up here and do these dishes.
Right.
So I'm making me some tea while I'm saying get up here and get these dishes. I done made the tea, put the honey in, stirred it up. She ain't moved off the couch.
Yeah.
It's like 20 minutes later. So I'm getting
It just dawned on you she
I'm
ain't
getting
even moved.
pissed. I'm getting more and more pissed by the second. You understand me? So I finished making
Yes,
my tea,
indeed.
and my hip half hurt, so it hurt me running up and down them stairs.
Right.
But I was like, I'm about to strangle this little girl.
Right.
So I go downstairs, and she's sitting on the couch. She ain't moved an inch, right? So I said, what I tell you to do, right? I making the voice and everything. What I tell you to do,
Right.
right? She looking at me like I'm crazy, right? I said, get your, and I put my finger right here,
Right.
like
Right.
in her collarbone. Get your, and my wife was like, don't you put your finger in her chest like that. So I was like, man, beat it, lady, right? So that was what it was. Now, this is why she's a hypocrite. And this is why my daughter is absolutely my child, right? 2 days later, I'm upstairs. I hear all kind of hollering and screaming.
Right.
Now, I don't want to deal with this, but after a while, it's getting outrageous. So I come downstairs. I'm like, man, what's the issue? She was like, your daughter ain't been doing her homework. She ain't been doing her schoolwork. So I'm like, all right, man, do your schoolwork.
Right.
So Bella's like, she ain't never got a C in her life.
Like, cause she's a genius.
So she's a star student. I don't know what happened to my son. He was messed up in the birth canal, a little bit of brain damage. We working on him. But
We working though.
we working on him. But my daughter, she ain't never got a C in her life. You know what I mean? So except for during the pandemic. And I knocked that off as, just transition or whatever. So my old lady's going through all these missing assignments she got, right? But they not missing assignments. She's turned in assignments.
Right.
But they're blank sheets of paper. So it looks like, so when the parents see the parent reading, it says assignment turned in.
Oh, because it's a virtual turn in.
It's a virtual turn in.
She ain't did nothing.
She ain't did nothing.
Hey, but she submitted them joints though.
She submitted blank pieces of paper.
The gumption. The gumption. I'm gonna submit these joints.
I was mad, but I was laughing inside. Like, this is
Put my
definitely
name on it
my
and submit
child.
that
You
joint,
understand
fam.
me? Definitely my child. She got 30
Who ain't do their homework?
30 blank sheets of paper of assignments that she just turned in with her name.
Who ain't turned their homework in? Yes, I did, fam. What are you talking
I
about?
said, boy, this girl here, man, she gonna drive me crazy, man.
I tried to do that when I was a shorty. Like this is one of my earliest memories. I had to be in like kindergarten or something. I'm trying to. We got an assignment to color, right? That's the assignment, color. And you can't until you finish the assignment. You can't go outside for recess, right? I'm trying to go outside. You know what I'm saying? Swear that's the only reason I came here. Okay, I learned how to count at home. Like,
I'm out of here.
I came
This is a social
I
experience.
came in to play with these other 6 years old. 6 year olds. That's what I'm here.
That's the
for.
reason I'm here.
I learned how to count last night. Anyway, we coloring the thing, so I'm like, yeah, I'm finished, right? So my teacher come over there like, cause my paper is
Outrageously
it's white,
messy.
No,
I was just white.
it's white. Okay, but
I
here
got
go
invisible colors.
Here go me. I colored it white. Right? This how smart I am at 6. She's like, why you ain't do it? I did do it. I colored it white. I literally told my teacher I colored it white. So she's like, no, you didn't. Right? So I'm like, I did color it white. Cause I'm staying like, how's she gonna tell me that I didn't color it?
color it
It's
white.
white. You know what I'm saying? They colored it white. I colored it white. Right? So she go get it. She takes a blank piece of paper and she get another one. She colored it white. Right? She grabbed my finger. She rubbed it across. Like, don't you feel that? You see how it is different? I'm like, oh, I ain't going outside there. Hey, man, Bella is definitely like you. She's just like you. Now, your son is more like his mama.
He is. He really is.
Yeah.
Man. It's an interesting dichotomy because he spends way more time with me, but
Yeah, but he's
absolutely
more
like
like your wife, and your daughter's more like you.
absolutely.
She independent. She pushed back on everything. She got a question for it. She like, She didn't thought about it herself.
If
and
I
she's
want to do it, I ain't doing it.
and she's smart as hell. So if I don't want to do it, I don't do it. And she ain't finna. Like we'd be standing in the kitchen. She'd bring her little stuff in there. Both of us tall as we are. She ain't finna ask nothing. She ain't finna say nothing. She finna grab a stool, climb up on that joint, and reach a cabinet that we could have reached in 2 seconds. But she gonna walk right past you like, I don't need you to do none of this, fam,
Yeah, bro.
and make something. Like
definitely got her own plan, bro.
she is different.
I was in there dying laughing, like the hypocrisy of you talking about what I can't put my finger in her chest, and you down here talking to her like she a street vagrant.
Hey,
I was like, boy, you so phony.
it is what it is. That's absolutely funny, man. I think I came to the conclusion that I don't want shorties, man.
Yeah, you
I think,
shouldn't.
I think I
I
reached
ain't
that
gonna say
conclusion recently.
I ain't gonna say that. They're a blessing. Let me say that.
Yeah, 100%. There's nothing else to say after you have them either. Like, I ain't never met nobody like, I hate these little motherfuckers, and I wish I never
I
had.
have though. I've met the people, man.
Now, everybody always tell me the same. Oh, it's the best thing ever. You never knew love until. That's fine. Okay,
That's true though.
I'm sure it is,
That
and
is true.
and it's fine. But it's a 24/7 commitment
It is.
forever.
And they drive you crazy.
Forever. If I call my mama right now and she don't pick up, I'm losing.
But see, your mama crazy. See, your mama needs to operate like my father used to operate. So at some point, my father just gave up. Like, it's your life, fam.
No,
Deal with
you're
it.
not gonna do that, fam.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Not to your daughter.
But to my son. It's very different.
And your wife not gonna do that to Eric.
Oh, whatever.
It's
Well, I told him the other day, I said, hey, you ready to be homeless? That's
you ready to be
homeless? Hey, if you ready to be homeless, we ain't got to talk about this no more. You got it, homie. It's yours.
I would be a great father. I know I would be. I don't feel like being a great father. I'm just not in the mood to be a great father.
Yeah, it's a struggle, Jay.
I have my shorties like everywhere, places they ain't even supposed to be. Like, why your 6 month old at the bar? Because he my shorty. Be cool. Let him sit right there. Let him sit his whole car seat on the bar. We cooling.
Yeah, but see, they'll put you in a position where you be like, wait a minute, I ain't even that reckless.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They put you in situations where you be like, hold on, man, you embarrassing the family name, fam.
yeah. No, it's a 24/7 commitment forever, fam.
I be trying to think
I'm
back.
way too impulsive. Like, I just pick up tomorrow, like, hey, I want to go to Texas.
Well, they're slow all that down.
That's my point.
Yeah, they're slow.
I'm
all
hella
that down.
impulsive. Like, people, like today, like my life as it is, people ask me questions like, yo, you wanna link up like Friday? I'd be like, what? The nerve you to ask me what I want to do 2 days from now.
Right, that's way too
I
far
have
in
no
advance.
fucking idea.
Right.
Like, I don't know how I'm gonna feel on Friday. Hit me up on Friday. If it works out, it works out. If not, whatever.
Nah, it's a blessing though, bro. You know what I mean? It's the only way you can the lineage lives on, man. It's crazy to think about. Is I know my son is challenged, but he legitimately is the last in the Werner line. There's no more Werners after him. You know what I mean? So, like, my grandmother's surname is Blakey, and it's a lot of them. But as far as my grandfather, like, this is legitimately the last one.
Okay.
So God willing, he likes girls a whole lot.
Procreate.
You know what I'm saying?
Jesus Christ.
And we can stay out here, you know
Two
what I
finna
mean?
be in there breeding this.
But if he don't, hey, it's gonna be a problem. I'm gonna tell my baby she gonna have to keep her maiden name no matter what. You know what I mean?
Right, okay, what that nigga said?
What he say?
You are nigga. I can see you on that too. I can definitely see you under that act.
It's gonna be like a Muslim name. Just tell me it's like the X. You gotta keep it.
Nah, man, I feel that. I feel that wholeheartedly. And this whole. Let me not say that. Let me not put that on you. Anyway, I think that, like, for a long time I used to be like, hell yeah, I want kids. I was like certain that I wanted kids. Then I got to a phase where I was like, I don't know. And I would go back and forth like, yeah, no. And now I'm pretty sure I've settled on. I'm good on them. I'm straight.
Nah, they fun though, man.
Yeah, no
They
doubts.
fun.
My nieces,
they keep you
nephews,
young,
god
too.
kids,
You know what I
boom,
mean?
love
They keep
them.
you young, man. They keep you. It's the natural progression, G. Without them, I wouldn't have nothing to do. I'd be bored out my damn mind. You know what I mean? I ain't even gonna lie. Like, even with my son down there in Arizona, G, I be missing that little turd.
Yeah, that's because that's your life. That's been your life for 15
But it
years
really
now.
ain't my life. I live a very full life. You know what I mean?
For sure. I'm saying, but that life, full as it is, includes having children.
Yeah, you just make time for
If
that.
you never had them, you wouldn't be bored, fam. You'd be
Nah, I
doing
wouldn't.
something else.
Yeah, I would. But they add value. They definitely add value. You know what I mean?
No doubt about that, man. No doubt about that. So listen, y'all, we got a dope conversation planned for y'all today. Later on in the 5 o'clock hour, we're going to be speaking with the
Keenan Salter, the legal representation for the sister Anjanette Young, the one who was accosted by the police, the Chicago police 2 years ago. The one that we've been talking about for the last 3 days, the one the mayor's been apologizing for after she lied and said, there was no facts to this case and he wasn't trying to suppress the tape. All that type
the
of stuff.
mayor is an asshole.
Hey man, she's
Like-
Lori. She one of the Stones. She one of the moles. You know what I mean? So,
On Stone. No,
on Lori.
like she on Lori. G.
On Lori.
She is off the meat rack, G. She's a different level. So I'm definitely looking forward to having the conversation with the legal counsel who's representing Miss Young. Looking forward to seeing what that conversation is like. I'm sure there's probably going to be a lot of it's ongoing case. I can't really speak to that specifically, but around the fringes where we can get into things that we certainly are. And you know, me and you, we gonna ask.
They
you
had
anyway.
I saw this morning. They had talked to Jamal Green. Jamal Green was talking to the family, and
Yeah, I saw that.
you saw that.
Yeah.
Is it just me?
No, it's not just you.
I don't know, man.
And I went to his campaign party when he announced he was running.
Hey, shout out to Brad Tomlin. He said Major McAsshole.
Major McAsshole, G. Like for real. She's an asshole, dog. I went to Jamal Green's when he announced that he was running. I went to the party for it. I wrote him a check.
You wrote Jamal Green the check?
I did.
Oh shit.
I did. Well, I didn't write a check. That's not actually what I did. I don't.
Your political choices always interest me. They're very intriguing.
No, I didn't vote for him though.
Don't give a shit. You gave him a check.
Yeah, I would have gave all the black candidates a check
Yeah, okay.
if I could have. But at the time, I was just excited. He was like 23. I'm like, you gonna run for mayor?
23andMe.
Cool. Let's go.
Yeah, okay.
Look, listen, you know me. I'm for something else.
Hey, I salute it.
I'm for something different. We didn't end up no worse with Lori.
He didn't win.
I know, but we didn't end up any worse that she won. I mean,
It
we couldn't have ended up any worse if he did. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I disagree.
Okay, whatever. You know,
But hey, that's not my
shake,
space.
shake that shit up. Point is, yes. I mean, you're not alone, right? I see him and I be like, what is bro talking about? Like, and why is bro talking about it? I don't know.
It's that conversation between the
I'm gonna hit him up. I'm gonna invite him on the show.
I don't really want to do that.
I know you don't. That's what I'm gonna do. That is the precise reason I'm gonna sit him right
I
across
don't
from
really
you.
see no reason to have him here.
So we can have that conversation.
I don't know. I think that'll
sit-
turn out like that girl who only dated white men. I don't, after a while I'm gonna shut down. Like, okay, I'm not talking to this fool. I can't handle it.
Or you gonna get like Willie Wilson's at the polling place when they were turning in their votes and counting the joints, counting the signatures
I don't remember.
on the
City So Real?
Yeah, on City So Real.
I remember something happened, but I don't remember verbatim.
Yeah, no, they was just arguing about it. It was kind of petty, but yeah, I'm gonna set that up, man.
Check your own videos. You always be number 2. It's just you can invite them all you want, cuz I entertain y'all's conversation.
I think it's a necessary conversation.
Look,
The brother has
to-
obviously put himself in that space, right, where he wants to be in a space of leadership in this city, right, for whatever reason, right? You question motives, you can question whatever. He's put himself in that space, and so if he's gonna be in that space, might as well talk to him about what he's trying to do in that space and what.
What space is he in?
I just said he's in a space of public leadership in this city.
Is that public leadership? Or is that ambulance chasing? I don't know. But it's whatever you want to call it.
Again,
I just don't,
motives aside,
Listen,
we question
I
the
tried-
motives of Crump and Merritt.
I
the other day.
try not to shit on the
I
youth.
don't mean not in the space.
I don't want to dookie on the youth. I don't.
No.
You know what I mean?
I have no.
I try to support them as much as I can.
Yeah, for sure.
But some of them just rub me the wrong way.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I get it.
So it is
I get
what it is.
But listen, Lil Ron rubs the wrong way every day.
But I love
But we
Lil
try to
Ron.
bring him
I
along.
don't feel that way about
We
J.
just try to bring him along.
But when
bring
you
him
love
along,
somebody,
bring
you're
him
more
along.
empathetic to their situation.
him
You have more
along.
compassion to their situation.
I love J. Moore
I don't
Gray.
necessarily feel that way about
I
J.
love him, man. He's
Hey,
what? He's a
salute to you.
25-year-old black dude in Chicago.
Yeah.
I love him. You know,
Okay.
people do shit.
Hey, man, the devil come in
25.
every color, brother. Believe that shit.
Believe that. I'm with it. Damn.
I'm not to say he was a devil.
Okay, damn.
I'm just saying it does.
You making it
The
does.
greatest trick the devil ever pulled
Was convince you that he don't
convince
exist?
exist. I'm just saying some shit don't sit right with me.
All right. Well, we'll ponder that setup. But anyway, yeah, I did see the video, and I absolutely am looking forward to having the conversation.
I'm gonna ask Keenan why they got J. Ball Green representing her publicly like that. I'm gonna ask that. I want to know. I want to know how he gets to those conversations.
I'll tell you what. What other black person, again, this public leadership shit that they try to be on, is beating the drum on that.
Why is it even necessary? For me, it reminds me of the conversation we just had yesterday about Black Lives Matter.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What are they actually doing? They come to the streets and they protest and they get globs of money for yelling and screaming. But what the fuck are they doing? When you get all that money, how do you reinvest it back to the community? How is those efforts being maintained by anchoring yourself into the community that you claim to care so much about? And if you ain't on that, then you're a goddamn con man. I'm not saying that's Jamal Green. I'm
not
saying
saying it's not.
I'm confused.
You're not saying it is. I'm not saying that it's not, right? I'm just saying I don't see people who should be beating that drum. I don't know, like the Black Caucus or some shit, or I don't know, all of these preachers, like, or I don't know, black police officers, right? Like, don't we got a black police superintendent in this city? Mm-hmm. Don't we have a black mayor in this city? Mm-hmm. Don't we have a black president of this entire county? Then how the fuck can't we have anybody say that this is not okay, this shit ain't gonna happen? How do we got everybody circling the wagons? I didn't know. Yes, the fuck you did.
But that's part of the goddamn conversation, right? That's part of the conversation we've been having for, again, since we turned the mics on, like, what's it mean to be black? Right. So I don't really rock with the color concept of black because it's a falsehood, right? If you're not black in consciousness, then you ain't really, I don't really fuck with you.
I agree. I feel that.
You know what I mean?
I feel that.
And what's black in consciousness look like? So again, Lori Lightfoot has been around for a very long time. You know when I first met Lori Lightfoot? I first met Lori Lightfoot she was part of Rom's team when they was uncovering the tapes for Laquan McDonald, right? And I got invited to a meeting down at the mayor's office, and it was like all these heralded black leaders in the city of Chicago in this room. I was confused as fuck as why I even got the invite. You know what I mean? Sitting in the room, I didn't know who she was at the time. Right. You know what I mean? But she was definitely on the mayor's side, on the mayor's team, part of the mayor's council. You know what I mean? And they having this conversation with all these kind of elite representation of black Chicago in this room, and the shit that they were saying in the room, I couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? And I really couldn't believe that these elite representatives of black Chicago was sitting there listening to this clown shit. You know what I mean?
Of course.
And they didn't really have any pushback. They didn't really say shit. Now I feel like the little dude in the room. So I'm kind of trying to play my position like, damn, should I say something? Because I don't feel comfortable about this shit, but I don't see nobody else saying nothing.
You're like, hey, y'all don't know what the fuck they
like,
talking about.
we in different rooms or some shit? You know what I mean?
Listen.
And after a while, it just got too much for me. After a while, I can't control myself. Right. You know what I mean? Right. It just shows up. Right. You know what I mean?
Wait, before you tell us what you did, because I know you did something. All right. Let's take a quick break, man. When we come back, I want to find out exactly what you did while you find yourself in this meeting, in this room, with all these other black leaders listening to all this bullshit but not saying a thing. I want to find out how you respond to that. On the other side of this break, we'll get that story, and then we'll jump into the conversation for today. This is I Said What I Said, Herb 2 till 6. We'll be right back.
Girl Mona Mia, production intern here at What's In It for the Black People Media. Just wishing you a happy holiday and a Merry Christmas.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today. WIFTBPM
What up, good people? We are back live from the What's in It for the Black People Media Studios alongside Tucson Warner. My name is Herb Howard. This is I Said What I Said. Thank y'all so very, very much for choosing to be a part of the conversation. Shout out to Flo in the production studio doing all of the hard work behind the glass. Flo, we appreciate you, bro. What's happening?
I appreciate you too, Doc. And man, everything's good, man. You like that music bed right there?
Oh, that's dope. That's where that instrumental come from?
That's actually one of my partners. He a producer now, Rihanna Instrumentalist, man. I had to come through with some nice new music beds for y'all, man. I had to break them exclusive. I had them all day and play them.
That's heat. We got to.
That's right, Flo.
We got to send that to
Understand who's the best show on this network. I appreciate that.
So you gotta have some kind of loyalty, man.
Man, I fuck with it, Flo.
You dig? We got to send them beats over to the Book of Dawn though, because they be freestyling.
Okay, bet.
Yeah, let the quota spit on that track.
Okay.
The quota.
Yeah.
Shout out to Who's the White Guy too, talking about quota.
Who's the white guy is definitely in the
Who's
building.
the white guys
Right
in
now.
the building?
Who's the white guy? What's going on? No, I'm playing. We don't care. Listen, man, thank y'all for tuning in to the conversation. We appreciate y'all all being here. Too, before we went to break, you was talking about a rather peculiar situation you found yourself in the first time you met would-be mayor of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot.
It was interesting, man. You know, and I'm not gonna put nobody's name out there because I really don't. Again, I didn't understand what was going on at the time.
Sure.
You know,
I get that.
and in a lot of ways, still to this day, I don't really fully grasp what was going on.
Still don't know what the fuck is going on.
Still don't understand that shit.
What was y'all doing in that moment?
Yeah, but it was interesting, man. You know, and this is like right after the tape surfaced of the Laquan McDonald murder. And again, I don't even know how I got invited to this conversation, specifically at that time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But Rahm Emanuel came in the room and he kind of gave this speech about how he's the mayor of all Chicago. And then he steadily went down the line of berating, you know, our community for about a half hour of why he ain't gonna really do shit to correct the ills of hiding the tape or the police, you know, cover up of the Laquan McDonald situation. And after I listened to so much bullshit, I couldn't control myself no more.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I was like, hold on, man. You know, what did you ask us to come down here for?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was like, this is a negotiation table, right? You can't bring that boy's life back. So what are you offering to our community to make amends for essentially what you've done or what you've allowed to be done?
Right.
You know, and he was like, I ain't offering nothing. You know what I mean? And I said, then what? I said, just like this too. I said, then what the fuck is we here for?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And remember, I told you, he came in and gave this whole speech about how he's the mayor of Chicago.
All Chicago.
So I used every word in his speech, and I gave it back to his ass. And I said, I'm the mayor of my motherfucking neighborhood. And I'm talking just like this to the
Cash
mayor
buddy
of Chicago.
shit.
G.
Good.
To the mayor of Chicago.
Good.
You understand me? And I was like, and I don't see no reason why we shouldn't burn this motherfucker down. So he was heated. He was heated.
Hell yeah, too.
He was heated. He was so heated.
I bet he was.
So he got to point at me with the half a finger. Right?
Why do I get ignorant with you when you do that?
He was cussing me out and shit. So Butter was with me too.
Oh,
Right?
shit.
So I sat back in my chair and I just, inside, I was laughing like a motherfucker. Because in my mind, I don't hold no weight in this room. I can say that the fuck I want.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It really don't matter. But you the mayor.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when you start acting out of
I
character.
didn't brought you to
I
me
done brought you to
that.
my level. I would. You know what I mean? But the most interesting part about that experience is that really there was no resolve in that room.
No.
Right? And, you know, at the time, this was the news story in America.
Absolutely it was.
So you leave up out of that room, and it's every news channel in the country standing at the elevators waiting to talk to the people who come
out that room. Right.
Right? And again, I'm ignorant, but I ain't that ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So I see everybody who was sitting in that room with me run to the cameras.
Mm-hmm.
And I ran to the back steps.
Mm-hmm.
Because it just felt disingenuous to stand up there and act like some shit had been resolved or some valuable conversation and come out of that room. And
When you
hadn't.
know it hadn't.
It
nothing.
hadn't.
Yeah, and they finna stand up there and talk, oh, you know, we just talked to the mayor and his whole people and his staff and going to put some things in place. And
None of that
and,
shit
You know,
happened.
we're going to always come down here and stand up for the black people and we're going to make sure. Y'all ain't going to do shit.
But what's really interesting about that shit, he G-checked me, though. I ain't going to lie. Rams is a gangster.
Oh.
Please believe that. He's a real gangster.
Because if you're the mayor of Chicago, you must be a gangster.
He definitely G-checked me, right? So maybe, you know, when we did the Black Friday march,
Mm-hmm.
right? So right after that happened, and it's some more pieces to the story, but I'm not gonna put that out there. But right after that happened, he called my cell phone maybe 2 days after that month.
Okay.
And he was like, "Hey, Tucson."
Right.
And I was like, "Who the fuck is this?"
Right.
You know
Right.
what I'm
Right.
saying? He's like, "Rom." And I was like, "Rom who?"
Didn't I tell you I'm the maddest motherfucking city nigga?
But he surely called me under the act, like, just hey, little dude, I can touch you if I want to touch you.
me-
That's definitely what that call was.
Oh, that's all it was.
That's all that call
That's-
was.
that's
And
all
I
it was.
understood. I fully understood.
Oh, that happened as soon as you walked out that meeting. He just looked to his left and said, I want to know everything there is to know about that motherfucker right there.
Yeah, he G-checked me. I got it. I fully understood
Yeah,
that
and
call
then
was
and then
about.
and then the next morning he had a briefing
Man,
on you
hey.
with your whole file on it.
Man, I'm
with
from
everything you've
95. I
ever
understand
done.
how this work, bro.
But yeah,
You know
everything
what
you
I'm
ever done was like that. He called you just so you could know he could. Let me reach out and touch him.
Yeah, it was interesting, man.
That's funny as hell.
It was interesting.
Yeah, but that's pretty much by and large. That's how our political representation. That's how they represent us. They don't. They go down there. They listen to the fuck is being told to them, and they find a way to stay as close to it as possible without actually having to do anything. They're not down there representing our interests. They looking out for themselves. And so then they'll come to what's in it for the black people media, and they'll say, oh, we're doing this, and this is what we need from the black community. We need the black community to do this. We need the black community to do that. Motherfucker, do your job.
I don't want to put that
I
on
do.
everybody's jacket, though.
But
You
I
know
do.
what I mean? And
I'm sure somebody goes down there with good intentions and tries to speak up on our behalf, but that shit, at the end of the day, they ultimately choose their careers over their service.
Again, I just don't want to put that on everybody's jacket.
That's probably not fair,
what I
but
mean? I get it though, but I think that's just the culture of America at this point. Is get mine. It's very selfish rather than selfless. When you start thinking about political office in general, right, it's a public service kind of job.
Mm-hmm.
So in that vein, if you're not a servant of the people, see, we don't look at it from that standpoint. And I'm not even gonna say anybody looks at it from that standpoint. But we don't have the capital to play the game to really maximize the value of political office.
True.
So when we go in and when you start thinking about the positions of lack that our community is in, it would almost behoove us to not go in under the Public Service Act. You know what I mean? Because if you could actually bring resources to the community, even if you was a capitalist, it would seemingly, to me, at least in my mind, it would aid you in reaching whatever that capital pursuit is.
For sure.
Right? But let's go back to the understanding
makes
of
sense,
the
at
numbers.
least.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The numbers say 120 is you topping out at 120 in the top 1% of black people. So you think about that from the aldermanic perspective, and that's kind of one of the lowest level positions.
Mm-hmm.
120 for a half a day job, you did one in life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying, damn, why don't you leverage that position, bring some resources here, and activate whatever it is your capitalist pursuit is independently.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But we just don't think about it like that. At least I've not seen too many of us think about it like that.
No, I don't see it. I don't see that happening at all. I see a bunch of people who are constantly making the decisions that best suits them. And it's not about what's best for all of your constituents. It's not about what's best for the people you represent. And it's not even done with this a particular interest on the issues that they told you were the problem before they voted for you, right? Like you're not on that. You're just trying to get from here to there to here to there, or at least stay where you are for as long as you can. And that's about you. That's not about nobody else, man. I remember watching On the Wire, and I actually thought that Carcetti was going to be a good candidate for the mayor. For the mayor's office. He was talking all this good shit. I want to do this and I want to do that, and he had started to do some of that shit. But ultimately, he wanted to be the governor. Once he got into there to be the mayor, and the opportunity came for him to be governor, he said, fuck all these people in Baltimore that I've been, campaigning on and making all these promises. I'm going to do what's best for me. And so when the opportunity came for him to save the schools in Baltimore, but to save the schools in Baltimore, he would have had to take
fucked up the
money from the state level.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh, now, if I take his money from him this year, 2 years from now, he's going to throw it back in my face and I'm trying to run for governor. So you let all the fucking students for the city that you actually the mayor of go without because you got your eye on another job 2 years from now. That's how they roll, and it's bullshit.
It's a game like Monopoly, though, right? I've been courted by a few people to run for city office.
Yeah, I've been trying to get you to go too.
Right. And I'm not going to do that shit. But mainly the reason why I would have never thought about doing it is because when you start looking at the game of it all, right? Let's say I do get elected, and I get elected on the merit of who I've always been to our community.
Right.
Right. And the only way I've been who I've been to our community is really by living in my truth and being open and honest.
Not being tied to anybody.
not being tied to anybody, but this is just really who I am, right? It's not a it's an act of service out of love for my people. It's no other goal at hand. I just love my people. You know what I mean? And I want to see the best for my people. Right. It's not a negotiation. If I feel like doing some shit, that's what the fuck I'm gonna do. Period. Right. When you start thinking about, and that's why I was getting courted, because people kind of respond to that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So anybody who was courting me, who could kind of push the needle, was looking at that from the vantage point of, I could leverage this impact or this viability that this guy has to get him in the office. Right. Now here comes the problem, at least in my mind. Let's say I do get elected for whatever position they was trying to court me for.
Sure.
Right. I would only be able to get elected via our community. Right. Our community doesn't fully grasp and understand politics. Right. So after they go to the polls, if they go to the polls that one time, that's probably gonna be the last time I see them until it's time to go to the polls again. You understand? And then when you start to understand that even if you was at the lowest level, right, at the automatic level, that shit is anything that's needed to be done is put to a vote, right? And you can't even get the totality of the Black Caucus to go one way. Right. So imagine trying to get everybody else to go one way. Right. And then the way I thought about it was like, if I was to get elected in any kind of position, I wanted to be able to offer my truth. Hey, this is what I want to do. Hey, this is what I'm trying to do. This is what I'm trying to get done. Right. But in essence, it's a negotiation all the way around across the board. And my people wouldn't respond to that because my whole leverage would be my honesty. And it wouldn't work. The math doesn't work out for me.
Yeah, I think that ultimately it's not set up that way, right? It's a system that is set up in this, hierarchy type fashion to where once you get in it, as long as you're trying to climb that ladder, you're not really serving your constituents. You're serving your masters, right? And that's how that game continues to be played, even at the automatic level, where it's like, okay, I'm trying to do the right thing. I want this for my neighborhood. But again, in a gangsta-ass city like Chicago, where you have mayors who be like, fam, if you don't vote for everything I'm talking about, you not getting shit. Fuck you. Fuck your entire everybody live over there. I don't care, right? You won't get a pothole fixed or a street light repaired unless you roll with everything I say roll with.
And then how do you explain that to your constituents?
You can't,
because you just become a failure,
right?
You know what I mean? Right. Yeah,
and
fuck that.
Yeah, it's a weird wild ass game. I understand how it's played, but I'm still just waiting. And you know what? I say I'm waiting for the person who stands up to it, but they have been. But then what happens to them? Nobody fucking knows.
And I think most people go in with good. I do think most people who look to public office go in with good intentions. I do.
Perhaps, but the game is played a certain way. And to be the fucking president, to be the governor, to be the mayor, you made some deals with some devils, and those shits have you by the seat of your pants. And I think that we're starting to see some of that play out already for Mayor Lightfoot in Chicago. We got to take a break. When we come back.
Real quick, though, Adrian Anderson, to be clear, I add a motherfucker so the ignorant niggas hit me. I don't have to use this language.
That's funny as hell. Love it. This is I Said What I Said. We curse a lot. We'll be right back.
Hey family, this is Dawn Millhouse from the Book of Dawn. Christmas and holiday time means giving to me. Make certain that you give of yourself to somebody else. This is Dawn. Happy holidays from the Book of Dawn.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out chicagolegalnetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
WIFTBPM.
Shout out to the entire Is Wiz fam. Shout out to everybody watching on Facebook. Appreciate everybody tuned in on YouTube as well. We appreciate all of you all tuning in for this Thursday edition of I Said What I Said. We are live from the What's In It for the Black People Media Studios alongside Toussaint Warner. My name is Herb Howard. We've having a conversation. Looking forward to a conversation that we're going to be having in the 5 o'clock hour with Keenan Salter, who is representing Miss Young, who was inexplicably, inexcusably accosted. I would even say assaulted. Right, illegally detained by Chicago Police Department some 2 years ago, and that's kind of what I want to focus on. We saw the video yesterday, and I was pissed, still super pissed at the video. But to your point, what are we going to expect from the police anywhere, right? But it's the 2 year thing for me. Right, it's the 2 year thing where this thing just gets covered up and nobody wants to bring it out, and the mayor comes in and she acts like she didn't know, but she also says that she briefed the incoming police superintendent. Like, you didn't know or you did know. Like, stop the line. Like when is, I just want somebody within the department or down at City Hall, just one time when somebody just does something that is inexcusable, that is wrong, for somebody to be like, you know what? That is inexcusable. That is wrong. You get the fuck out of here. You don't get to run in nobody's house, handcuff them butt naked in the middle of their living room for 20 minutes when you're not even supposed to be in their house. You don't cover them up. You don't offer them no dignity. You don't just get to do that and then it's like, okay, whatever. No, not okay, whatever. Can somebody just one time be like, nah, that's not cool. We not going for that. Somebody down on 35th in Michigan, or somebody up at the 5th floor at City Hall. Please.
So again, though, man, I think this is just the culture, right? And I don't mean the culture of City Hall or the culture of our mayor. It's just the culture of America, right? It's funny, we were just talking about, I get quoted to run for office a whole lot. But the only reason that happens is because I speak my mind and my truth, right? When I think about most of the other people in public positions, it's like one lie after the other lie after the other lie after the other lie to cover up the other lie to cover up the other lie.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And even if it ain't covering up the other lie, covering up the other lie, covering up the other lie, from us, it's this place of capitulate.
Right.
Don't rock the boat, don't rock the boat, don't rock the boat, don't rock the boat. And for me, just, that's not a way to live for me. You know what I mean? Even as a young man, I've never had, people used to accuse me of not having any tact. But that's just because I was up front and bold in my pursuits.
That's just a way to, like, tell motherfuckers, like, you too brash.
Yeah.
You too straightforward.
I'm too straightforward.
I don't have time to beat around this bush, man.
But that's just the culture, though. Think about that. Somebody who's straightforward is regarded as a negative.
Right.
Because I'm so used to getting lied to that I've begun to appreciate the lie.
I prefer the comfortable lie over the uncomfortable truth.
That's what it is. You know what I mean?
You see it play all the time.
It makes for an interesting paradigm.
And that's why so many people are like, hey, you should run for office, because it is a desirable trait. It is an attractive trait. Like, for all the shit I say that people might not like or agree with, everybody be like, I respect the fact that you said it, though. I respect the fact that you said it. Like, and I respect the fact that you're honest. And it don't matter. And that's any given relationship, right? That's professional, that's personal, that's familial, whatever. Like, I'm telling you the truth, the absolute truth as I know it. Now, does that make it right necessarily? Hell no. But it is my absolute truth every single time. I ain't bullshitting you for what? What the hell am I? Who the fuck is you for that I need to lie to?
That sounds good in certain arenas and certain platforms, but in other places it just doesn't work, though. Right?
Why not?
I told some preachers one time that they couldn't possibly be Christians because the way Jesus operated versus the way they operated is totally different.
And that makes a whole lot of
sense.
And
everybody
that makes a whole lot of sense to me.
It was like you could have heard a pin drop in that church. They all looked at me like I was the Antichrist.
I bet. But they knew you were telling the truth. They know Jesus, at least the stories, better than anybody.
Yeah,
right?
Man.
So they know good and hell well that the shit they do ain't in line with the shit he supposedly was doing.
Yeah, but what aligns with capital, right? What aligns with keeping my pockets okay? What aligns with me maintaining my position of power in this environment? What aligns with my family eating dinner tonight? You know what I'm saying? And that's really takes precedence over everything else.
Okay. Then and again, I'm not even mad at that. If that's what you own, be on that. That's all I'm saying. If that's what you own, be on that.
Yeah, but it just makes it difficult when that
Save the bullshit for the
that
side.
is the standard in that is the social standard, right? Niceties to get along, go along to get along. Niceties to hide the truth. Niceties to get past. Listen, America hasn't dealt with its original sin. Like it's interesting to me, man. Like George Floyd happens, or Breonna Taylor happens, or just Black life happens, and you start hearing this all are reported on Black life. Even the sister Anjanette Young the other day, like this, all is reporting on. Like, dude, I can't believe this.
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck you can't believe it?
That's real.
Like that's such so hypocritical to me.
Yeah.
That's hypocrisy. Like if you Black in America to come out and be like, you know, this is even to say this is a shame
Or a shock.
or a shock, you're lying. You
Yeah.
gotta be.
Yeah.
Because this is our experience.
You can't be shocked.
You can't be.
How could you possibly be shocked
And
by
if
something
you
that happened
are,
every day?
Where you must live on a Made It Out Street. Because I've never had that experience yet.
Right.
This has been the total. Man, I remember being 15 in my homie's grandmama's Benz.
Right.
Right? You know how you just get your license. His grandmama let us drive the Benz. This ain't no new Benz. This is a diesel. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Gee, he just got his license. We 15. We just young boys going to the plaza type of demo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Police pull us out of the car. 95th and Halsted. I remember it like it yesterday. Had guns to our heads, had us laying in the grass on some colors.
Yeah.
Colors.
Yeah.
Right? My little girlfriend, mama then drove past while I'm laying in the ground with
Right.
my hands.
Who is that little thug boy
Right,
you talking
who is
to?
this criminal little
Right.
nigga? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And what was crazy, like one of the police who pulled us over, like knew my uncle from hooping.
Mm-hmm.
He gets me up, he dusted me out. But my
Right.
homies, fuck them.
Right.
These is just natural and normal experiences in our community.
It's regular shit.
It's
bro.
regular.
It's regular.
So it's like it's this lineage of hypocrisy. And we keep playing the game with their ass. Like, oh my God.
Right.
Now let's be honest. This
Keep
is
it
what
a
the
buck.
fuck it is.
Keep it a buck
Now,
every time.
If this is what the fuck it is, it puts responsibility on us. How you gonna address it from now on?
That you just answered this. You just asked the question that you didn't really ask and answered it with a question, right? Like that's really what the issue is, bro. We will not acknowledge it as being normal because if you acknowledge it as being normal and an everyday experience, then it requires you to respond to it in a different manner
In a
than we have
different
been.
way.
Like it requires. So instead of me acknowledging that the bullshit is happening, I'll just keep acting like it's not. Oh, he ain't really just slapped me. No, he ain't slapped me. No, he was reaching across and hit my face again. Oh no, my cheek real clumsy. I keep running to his hand. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like no, it's not.
This is
right.
This is normal.
Yeah, it's why any abused person does that. It's why any abused person makes excuses.
That's why
for
you
their
afraid
abuser.
when the police get behind you, even though you ain't done nothing illegal, because this
Yeah.
is conditioned into us because it is normal.
Yeah,
How
but-
do you reinforce condition? It's like basketball. You get good at shooting the ball from muscle memory. You get scared when the police get behind your ass from muscle memory. This is normal.
Yeah, but when you getting abused like that, right? Woman getting abused by old man. Every time the opportunity presents itself for her to tell that story, she like, oh no, I fell, or even if she didn't use the I fell too much, or I hit the door too much. Now, he was just stressed out. He was this, that, and the third. It's always this fucking reason because she understands full well that if she accepts the truth that this dude has been beating your ass and is going to continue to beat your ass, she must do something different now. She must do something different, whether that's find her own place to live, figure out how to pay her own rent, find a new person to love, whatever it is, right? You're going to have to do something different if you acknowledge that is the fucking truth. We will not acknowledge that that's the truth because they would then require us to do something
At some
else.
point, you stop being a victim and start being a volunteer.
I don't disagree.
That's simple, man. Shout out to my brother Nate, man. I ain't seen or heard from you, Nate, in a minute, man. Good looking, brother. Glad you tuned in. Nate says people are choosing to lie that the police are here to protect us. So regardless of all the evidence to the contrary, they will always choose that the police are still protecting us. They need accountability.
Yeah, man. Hopefully,
Is who's the white guy playing the music for us to go to break? Is that what he doing? See, we're going to have to show who's the white guy, how this works around here.
not up in here. We do got to take a break, but that's a very very real conversation, and one of two things happens: either you come close enough to death, or you're like, okay, I gotta change this thing. I gotta stop accepting this abuse because this motherfucker is going to kill me, or that motherfucker kills you. That's it. I'm gonna take a break. When we come back, we'll have that conversation and more. This is I Said What I Said.
Chris the Critic Relationship Hour with Gina B. Why you are not married. Number one, you ain't all that. I know that's hard for y'all to swallow. I don't look as good as my 22-year-old self. People need to realize that. You just ain't all that. And I get it. I got this master's degree. I went to this school, that school. I worked hard for this job, for this house. And then she over there got that man, and you don't have one. Men are very simple creatures. So, ladies, for you very accomplished ladies, I got some advice for them.
What's that?
I always say it like this. You can write this one down. Be a kitten, not a cat. What does that mean, Chris?
What does that mean?
You ever played with a kitten? It's real friendly. It almost acts like a puppy. And you want to play with it. You want to look at the little kitty. It just makes you feel good. Now, have you ever seen an adult cat? When it feels like it, it might rub against your leg and move away. But is that men like kittens?
Kittens will play with anybody. A cat is particular.
Listen, what did we learn? Men are very simple creatures.
Right.
You can fool us. We want you to laugh at our dumb jokes. So all you super smart women out there, you good looking women, you see a guy you like, you guys do make it out on a date. He actually pays for the date. When you're actually with that person, the dialogue is happening, the dinner is happening. You say, okay, this might work, this might work. It would help if you act a little blind.
Oh my God, Becky.
I mean, you're going to hear me say that a lot. I mean, be nice to him.
you
hear the worst joke ever. But if you sort of like them, laugh at it. There you go. Hey, it's a lot of married women out there. If we got any married women chiming in.
Look,
if I'm telling a lie,
that one's a fake laugh.
Let me know. Right.
What you're saying is that we should cater to the male ego, and that's what's ultimately going to get us married.
I'm first saying recognize that I think some of us, more women than men, look in the mirror.
Uh-huh.
You ever seen a little lion look in the mirror and see somebody real big? They see somebody a little more fine than what they are. And I'm not calling anybody ugly, so I'm not here to bash anybody.
Let's look at Middle America, okay? Middle America is not attractive.
They're not?
Middle America is largely married.
Okay, I think we're on the same page there. People sort of, we get stuck to reality shows sometime and think we're supposed to have, I got a degree in a house, so I'm supposed to have Idris Elba or his twin.
Well, I mean, have you noticed, okay, so you remember your friends from high school, right? And you remember how they had all of these qualifications for, if she's going to lock me down, she got to be this, that. She's got to have an ass like that.
That's all we really looked at. Stop right there. You had me at. That's really, what are men? Simple creatures. We want to be fed. We want you to laugh at us, give us some, and that's it. To get us.
Chicago's Power Hour. I'm your host, Angie Mims, and
Terrence Key, TD, a.k.a. Terrence Daniels.
I wish I had one witness in the house.
You got one. You got a couple of them. Got two T's. Two T's.
Give me a testimony.
Oh, Lord. He's did it before. Oh, Lord.
I got one. Better. I got 5 reasons.
5 reasons. Oh, Lord. He turned it around.
Turn it around. He woke me up this morning.
Oh. Don't do this. Don't do this. Number 4?
He woke me up this morning.
Come on, number 3. Come.
He woke me up.
Oh, Lord.
He woke you up.
That thing can touch you. One of them 5s will get you. What's the second one?
He woke me up this morning.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, my God.
And the number 1 reason.
Number 1. Final answer.
He woke me up this morning.
He woke me up this morning.
That's a testimony.
That's a testimony.
WIFTBPM.
All day. Check it out. See, while you was on the corner trying to scrape up pack money, I was driving 80 stack trucks on rap money. I'm back money. If you want it, come to the hundreds and ask for me. Meet them OGs that'll blast for me. I'm right here. Ill Adidas, $400 jeans on me. Itchy with no safety, a loaded magazine on me. Southside, that's as wild as it gets. And no, I never sold crack. That's some house nigga shit. I'm not judging. But every man that's a man gotta stand by his principles, and I'm not budging. That's Mickey. You can take it how you want, but you can never be me. You can fake it how you want. I spit that uncut raw. You can bake it how you want. Break it down any way you like, you get the same result. Get in tune. The elephant in the room has now assumed pole position. Whoa. Oh. BJ, get him. Come on.
Reporting live from the gutter where that butter get gorillas jobs. That's why we call it work. The same work who get a nigga robbed. I throw my dice against the concrete. If the bitches pass, see you later. Grab my paper, tell her later, kiss my ass. This the jungle, baby, I'm a lion. Try me, I'll be firing. The same banger saved Private Brian. You the prey, you survive and hide. Better pray that them vultures and them rovers don't go flying by him. Them other niggas just so-so. How Lindenberg for nigga this hot in the cold go. I went from 20-inch assassins on that Osmo to that pretty 760 sitting low on them bozos. Those are big shoes, you motherfuckers is so slow. Get caught without your heat in these streets is a no-no. Baby need Pampers, daddy need that photo. It's bread or nothing, big old niggas, you see the logo. Whoa. Whoa.
Come on, Scooter.
I had to let that whole track rap. That joint go crazy. Mick and Bump spaz on that track, especially Bump. Listen, y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in. This is the second hour of I Said What I Said, live from the What's In It for the Black People Media Studios alongside Toussaint Warner. My name is Herb Howard. This is Intellectual Thuggery. At its absolute finest, we call it I Said What I Said. We call y'all the fam. Appreciate y'all so very, very much for tuning in on Facebook. Appreciate y'all for tuning in on YouTube as well. We'll kindly ask you please take a quick second to share the broadcast. And if you feel so inclined, you can contribute to the show by clicking on the little gold stars in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Spend the first hour kind of responding to the mayor's press conference in which she was just constantly lying, right? And as always, it's not just the surface level thing, it's the larger picture at hand. I think we settled on the fact that until we come to terms with the truth of our position in the country, then our chances of actually responding to it aren't it's not a reality. We can't respond to something that we don't admit, right? And we got to admit to exactly where we are and exactly how things are for us to be able to admit it. So that was the first hour of the conversation. Too, you want to show a video?
Yeah, man, I do. You know, in the midst of what we're dealing with here in Chicago with what's going on. I don't got your
computer.
With what's going on with the sister, Ms. Young, excuse me, I'm sorry. And just the other day, we was having this conversation about why are we seen as less than human, you know? And there was this kind of, I don't want to say slight argument, but, you know, they was like, why can't they treat us like humans? And you made this point that they absolutely can because they do it whenever there's a different issue or a different ethnic group in play. Right. And I don't remember, but somebody sent me this video right here of footage of the police dealing with the guy who killed Ahmaud Arbery. All right. And it's footage I hadn't seen before. So let's check this out. And I don't remember, somebody sent me this video right here of
like I said, just
footage of the police dealing with the guy who killed Ahmaud Arbery.
You got your ID and all that? No, don't get blood all over yourself. It's, I get that your pants are. Move around, do what you need to do.
Somebody sent me this video right here.
Can only imagine. Like I said, just
footage of the police dealing with the guy who killed Ahmaud Arbery.
You got anybody who wants to call for you?
I live right there. We've had break-ins.
Okay.
And my gun's stolen.
Okay.
And we called him the other day, and Dad was outside, saw him running by, and the neighbors pointing and everything. So
saw who running by?
Him.
Okay.
So we run out to stop him to talk to him. Mm-hmm. He took off running. He came over here. Stopped. He come out of the truck running at us. I told him stop till he hit me. I had nothing to do. There's nothing else I can do.
I got you.
Dispatch 136.
Like I said, we're going to take some photos of you, and then we'll let you get cleaned up. I know, I can only imagine, like I said. You're also, we're going to give you a ride to headquarters. You're going to talk to some investigators. Say, everything's got to be done right.
I know.
Okay.
I want it done right.
I got you. So
it just doesn't look good. I mean, it just shot me.
This
just said this doesn't look good. I just shot a man.
Trust me, can truly understand that.
Playing with my kid. Next thing you know, this.
Oh, me or you? It's mine.
Her level of empathy.
Do you have any
for him.
bruises or any marks on you or anything? Do you need the squad to check you out?
No, he.
I just heard you said hit you. I
He struck me a few times. It's
Okay, well
but I'm
let him
fine.
let him look at you.
Okay.
The level of
Do you have-
empathy for
where
him is
where were you struck? at?
Face.
Okay, that's fine. Just let me. Like I said, we don't want to miss anything, you know. Let's do that. Live. This is you right here, this house.
The house straight across from the gentleman right there. And
Okay.
And then that's my father. He was with me with this whole thing.
What's your dad's name?
Greg McMichael. He's right there. He's the
I didn't. I know. I didn't even. I was like, wait a minute. I didn't. I'll be honest. When you pointed at him, I didn't. I just saw him standing over there. When did you retire? About a year ago? June? So not quite.
That's crazy.
Just trying to figure out where you were going. Man.
You don't have water, do you?
I can find you some. Do you have any water in your car?
I'll find you some water.
Okay, give me a second. I'll find you some.
Guy
The weapons or anything on you?
Guy standing
How can
here.
I make you more comfortable?
Yeah,
You need a water?
guy standing here covered in another man's blood that you just murdered. You need some water? The level of empathy for this dude, when you compare and contrast that to the lack
You
of
can't even get a
dignity
robe.
that Miss Young was showing. She can't even get a robe in her own house. She's handcuffed. This motherfucker is standing here covered in another human being's blood that he just shot dead on the street. And I understand how you feel. Yeah, I get it. Is that your dad? What's his name again? Oh yeah, when did he retire? Yeah. Let me get you some water. Like, it's crazy. This lady is in her own house. Y'all ain't got no business being there for shit. Y'all kick her door down. Then try to repair it. Ultimately prop it up with a fucking ironing board. You know what I'm saying?
I forgot about that.
What is wrong with y'all, bro? And yet we're gonna find reasons. We're gonna talk, and then we talk about more training and talk about all this other goofy shit. Like, no, they are perfectly capable of showing empathy to whom they want to show empathy to. It's just that fucking simple. It don't matter if you just killed somebody. It don't matter if you just beat my ass. There are countless videos of white men beating the fuck out of the police, taking their weapons, taking their vehicles, driving off with them. Nobody's shooting shit, and I'm not saying that them dudes should have been shot. I'm only saying that they certainly would have been shot if they were black. Like, it's unbelievable, except it's not.
That's really the point right there. You said it's unbelievable, except it's not. It's just not. You know what I mean? And that's what I mean. Like, this is the standard. You know what I mean? They treat them like humans because that's how they see them, as humans.
Right. You know how unhuman that woman got to be to you for you to make her stand in the middle of a living room, butt-ass naked in front of 12 strange men with guns, handcuffed? You know how, inhumane that is?
It sounds insane to us, right? Because we've never been offered that level of empathy or that level of humanity or that level of regard. But again, that's the dude who shot Ahmaud Arbery. And I don't know. Obviously, this tape was taken right after the crime, right. So the tape that we all saw nationally was released a few days later. So I'm sure they're not aware of that tape or whatever. But the sheer fact that she knows he just killed somebody, and it's still this very calm, you're still not a threat. You're still it's empathetic.
You flip
but
that around.
Going back to the same thing with the Dylan Roof and the South Carolina shooting.
Taking them to Burger King.
We're gonna take you to Burger King because there's a level of empathy attached to feeling connected to XYZ person via our human experience. Right. Again, that's what I talked about with that implicit bias that they come to the conversation with around black folks and their lack of humanity, right? So when they see the woman standing in the middle of even what is her own apartment,
yes, dog,
standing butt naked and screaming and holler at the top of their lungs, it's really just a wild wildebeest screaming at the top of their lungs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Shut your ass up.
It don't matter.
We don't see you in the same light.
Not your person.
It is what it is. But if we recognize the normalcy of it, we have to be accountable to it. We got to be accountable to it. And I don't know how or what that means for us, So that's happened a few times. Are y'all getting feed interrupted out there? I'm asking to the comments because we getting that a few times at him. We losing sight of whether or not we on or not, or if we're not on. We should be back, I would assume.
Yeah. I just again just the level of just disrespect for the fact that she is a person, dog. You flipped actually the point I was trying to make. You flipped the scenario, right? Black dude kills a white dude while that white dude is running down the street for any reason, right? Let's say this is 100% self-defense. Let's say this is 100% the dude that didn't broke into all the fucking houses and robbed everybody of everything they ever thought they owned. If the black dude kills him on the street, at the very fucking least, you're going to be detained until we figure this shit out. You're going to sit your ass down in handcuffs in the back of this squad car until we figure this shit out. All this, you stand around, offer you water, you covered. If a black dude standing there covered in a white dude's blood who's dead on the fucking street because he just shot him, self-defense or not, fam, we're dealing with this a different way.
All I'm saying is it's a false comparison, right? To compare the two is like it's irrational to me, right? So look, my first car was an 87 Cutlass Supreme. If you from Chicago, you know that was the car to have. Like that's the old school, that's the dope boy special. You know what I mean? Had billet rims on it with a billet steering wheel in it, right? Now, I only bring this to the light because that car, because it was the car to have, that car got stolen from me 5 different times, G. No bullshit. Kept getting it back, but it was meant to be. You understand me?
Right.
But first experience, when they first stole that car from me the first time, I remember the police found it. And when they found it, I go to the police station to pick up the car. I walk into the police station, and this white guy looks familiar to me at the desk of the police department. I was like, man, you look familiar to me, man. What's your name? Do I know you from somewhere? And his response was, I must have locked your ass up from somewhere. First of all, you didn't call me to come pick up my car. That's the only reason I'm in the police department. Right? But that was his response to me, because what other way could you absolutely acknowledge me? I would never interact with you in no form of life, right? Second time they stole that car, they found it around your crib, right? East End, right? I go pick up the car. They just left the car there, like, come get your shit. You know what I'm saying? My old man drives me over there to get my car. I'm a young dude. I still live with my parents, right? My old man but my old man's an old man.
Right.
We over there getting my car. So whoever stole it had messed it up. The lugs on the back tire was kind of, I don't even know how they did what they did. You know what I mean? But it was damaged, and I was scared to drive it back, so I was trying to put the spare tire on one of the back tires before I was going to drive it back to the crib.
Right.
And police pull up on us, had me and my father laid out flat on the ground talking about they heard this car was stolen. Yeah, motherfucker, y'all just called me to come pick it up. But it's the lack of humanity. They got a 70-year-old man out here laying in the ground in the cold.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
It is what it is. The other time. It's just the car experience. I ain't even talking about other experiences.
No, nothing else, right.
Just the experiences with
just
this
regular
car,
shit.
Right? Had the car, you know, I used to go trick off in the hotel with your little chick when you was young.
Yeah.
I'm in the hotel. They had to do some research to do this shit. They had to do research, G. So my car's parked in the lot. They come knocking on the door with the police knock. Boom, boom. I'm like, damn, did my girlfriend find out? No, I'm in trouble. Oh, Lord. But it's the police.
Definitely the first thing you think.
It was the police. Like, man, we got to report this car stolen. But even for you, what you driving through, checking the license plates on every car in the parking lot?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But it's no empathy, bro. Period.
It is what it is.
Period.
And I appreciate your point. I'm gonna stop making that particular statement, or certainly making that particular comparison. It's not the same. It's not even fucking close. And to continue to make that comparison flies in the face of what we were saying in the last segment, where it's like, yo, we got to accept the state of reality, and then that will cause us to move different. Stop trying to compare it. Stop trying to act like it's the same. It's not. You is this, they is that. Now what the fuck are you going to do about it?
Right. And I think that is healthy for us, right? I think we live in this space of illusion, right? This is the same conversation I have around finances, right? We have this belief system in the aspiration instead of the reality. Here's the reality, right?
Deal with that.
Now, once you deal with the reality, set whatever lofty goal you want to set.
Deal with that.
But deal with the reality, right? You've seen us have conversations with countless amounts of people, and I say, well, we were just, the last time Don was in here, I know people that's buying houses. Yeah, you might. But in mass, we're not.
Deal with the reality.
In mass, this is the lowest level of home ownership in the last 50 years for black families. In mass, we're going to be at a zero net worth by 2036. But people can't even comprehend that because they're so caught up in the illusion of what is.
Right.
No, this is the data.
Deal with the reality of what's actually happening. This is the data.
And all I'm giving you is anecdotal shit just about my life. And I can tell you 30 goddamn incidents with the police.
That's the same thing, and that's the same thing with every situation, right? We had Shanita was in here last Friday, right? Same shit with relationship, right? You can have this ideal, perspective of what it is or what it has been, right? Oh, it's been like this, it can be back like that, or we can do this and get maybe, right? But what the fuck is it right now? And until you accept what it is, you can't get past it. You can't solve that shit at all. You were relieved it wasn't your girl.
Thank God for the police.
Thank you. Never been happier to see you guys.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Oh, Lord Jesus.
Could have been worse.
Could have been real bad. You know what I'm saying? Young boy shit.
That's man, that shit. Relationship Friday, man. You looking forward to it tomorrow?
I mean, we could do it. I never look forward to it.
Why not, man? You don't be opening. I think I'm not gonna play that video. When I was talking about I was gonna play, I don't think I'm actually gonna do that.
So shout out to everybody in the IsWiz family who be sending us stuff to talk about, man. Because Steve Jakes has been sending me all kind of Relationship Friday videos to my inbox, man.
Steve, you and Steve go back though, right?
Yeah, he went to college with me.
Oh, okay. So y'all probably got some real stories.
Not really.
Steve, drop the real dirt.
Steve was the noob.
Drop the real dirt.
The Noops didn't really rock with us. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
So you know how that fraternity shit is.
Yeah.
But I really wasn't involved in that fraternity shit.
Right.
I was rocking with everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I dig it. So we'll have that conversation tomorrow. We're gonna be joined by Taylor Iman too. She is a singer, super dope. She does these videos called Note to Sis, and it'd be funny as hell, like just giving women advice on like dating, but it'd be the most, I don't know, superficial, ratchet, ignorant shit ever. So we're going to have that conversation with her tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Again, coming up at 5 o'clock, we are going to be speaking with Keenan Salter. I do believe we're going to be speaking with him in the 5 o'clock hour. He is representing Miss Young in her case, I guess, against the city, right? What ultimately, what's going to come of this? They going to cut her a check?
More than likely, I'm assuming they're going to cut her a check. I don't know how or who would be held accountable if you could hold all of those officers accountable. Who's the officer in charge, the leading officer on the what do you call it, a raid?
Right.
Shit, I call it a home invasion.
That was a home invasion.
Yeah.
So like y'all was supposed to be somewhere else. Y'all supposed to be next door or across the building or some other place in the complex where the dude y'all was looking for actually was. And what's crazy is y'all know exactly where the fuck he at. He got on the ankle monitor. Y'all can pinpoint his location to the exact place where his ass is at. Yep. Like, who's running this fucking operation? So y'all don't even know that he's already in y'all custody. He's confined to his house, but he's under house arrest. He's already in y'all custody. Y'all know exactly where the fuck this dude is at. Y'all break in this lady's house and assault her? Gee, that's sexual assault.
It's all of that. But again,
you tie somebody up in the middle of a room butt ass naked, that's sexual assault.
Well, it depends. I mean, not that it depends.
I feel you.
But my point is, again,
I feel you.
I'm just looking at it from the standpoint of, one, we keep accepting the behavior without any real tangible responses, right? Even when we start thinking about the payouts that people get, and I'm sure the sister's gonna get a payout, and some level I salute her on getting the payout, right? But even the payout is a representation of how far we are behind economically, right? So I just watched I can't even think of the name of this little film on Netflix, but it was about a husband and wife couple who the husband was cheating and ended up killing his mistress, and the wife comes from a wealthy family. And just watching the interaction between the wife and the police when they were just trying to put certain they was trying to accuse her of certain things involved that the husband was involved in, and she really wasn't involved. But I was just peeping how she was talking to the police. And again, this is a movie, right? This is a movie for sure. So it's not, truth. But even that performance art is based in some level of truth. When you're already wealthy, you can attack from a different vantage point. When you're not, it's like, hey, man, I might get a payoff for this shit. So everybody didn't see me naked in my living room, but I might walk away with this with $500,000. Which one is the better deal?
Right. And
is it better to go try to get somebody convicted, or is it better for me to walk away with this $500,000? Is it better for me to walk away with this $1 million? Like, think about that shit, right? This is real math. This is real. Every 100 names in the phone book is a millionaire.
Okay.
Every 100 names is a phone book is a millionaire.
Really?
And that might be based in assets when you start doing percentages.
Okay.
In assets, that's not like 10.
1 in 100 Americans is a millionaire.
That's assets. That's not liquid money.
Okay, cool.
Right? But when you start talking about home ownership,
1 in 100 Americans is worth $1 million.
Pretty much. When you start doing the basic math, with the breakdown of the math,
cool.
Right? You got to understand the majority of the population is largely white, right? So you own a home.
You halfway there.
In most instances. And in today's market, depending on where you are, you probably might be there.
Might be there, right.
You know what I mean?
Couple cars.
You there.
Pieces of jewelry and some cash.
Some little investment here, little investment here, my 401k.
Sure.
It's not hard to get $1 million when you own some shit.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
So when I talk about this about to be the largest wealth transfer in the history of America, that's coming.
Right.
Right? Because all of those people, just like I say, the baby boom was the only generation of black people that was ever really to make some money. White people doubled up at that time. You know what I mean? So now those people are dying off, and they're going to pass that shit down to the next generation. And that next generation is finna be very, very wealthy. You know what I mean? But in our community, that's not our truth, right? They say the average 36-year-old black woman college graduate is worth -$6.
Wow.
You know what I mean? That's the standard. When you start looking at, we did the numbers, right?
Yes.
Less than 60% of us are busting $50,000 with dual income earners in the household. So when you think about that, you don't own shit. So the capacity to get to $1 million because police fucked up and you still alive, shit, run that $1 million.
ROW says they already settled. Said it was settled for $300,000.
Wow.
So I'm certainly interested to ask Attorney Salter that, coming up next hour to figure out, exactly what then is the process now? What is it about now? If that's already been settled, what is it about now? And I'm kind of sad that she has to kind of relive this thing. I'm sure she's relived it every night since for 2 years, but now to have to relive it publicly and everybody's,
and if she settled for $300,000, they chumped her ass. This is a national news story.
Did they chump her?
They chumped the shit out of her.
Or is everything that you just said true?
She had to jump for $300,000. That's fucked up.
You know what I'm saying?
That's horrible. This shit is national news. You know what you could do with national media? Man, I'd have raped this shit out of the Chicago police.
Sure, but for 2 years, nobody in her own city even knew this shit happened. So at some point, she had to seriously believe that this tape was never going to come out. Her story was never going to be heard. And so at some point, it was advisable from some attorney to be like, yo, take the $300,000.
I hope she didn't settle for $300,000. I'm about to look that shit up. We need a real producer. Who's the white guy? Can you look this up for us?
Who's the white guy? Can we find out can we confirm this report that she settled for $300,000, and if so, when? That's crazy, Robin. I believe you. I bet that's accurate, right? We're gonna get that confirmed, and I would bet it's accurate. You talking about a 50-something-year-old woman? Like $300,000, I can stop working this job that I don't want to fucking go to anyway. She had just got home from work.
Shit, she got to get half of that to the lawyer.
Don't matter. I'm trying to tell you what the thought is when they say $300,000.
Yeah, that ain't no money.
Yeah, well,
I hope that ain't true.
No money as it may be. I can absolutely believe it. Robin is citing the Chicago Tribune as the source of this $300,000 settlement. We got to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about.
I just got this, and this is just some Thursday funnies. Tyler Perry is complaining about being single and alone.
I'm not even on that with you, bro. I'm not even on that with you, bro. We gotta take a break. When we come back,
funny. Just hear that out loud.
Tua will be dealing with himself because I'm not on that with him at all. We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I am Mary, the do-it-all intern here at the What's in It for the Black People Media. I hope that you guys are looking forward to celebrating your family, all the kids opening up presents. Be sure to love your loved ones. It's been a tough year, and so long as we're all around, we want to pull each other in closely. You guys have a great holiday.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality Black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe Black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of Black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
Tune in every Sunday. Don't miss it. Live from the West End for the Black People Media Studios. It is the Kickoff Kickback. Join the conversation with the brothers, Eugene McIntosh, Herb Howard, and myself, Terrence Tomlin.
We got analysis live from the stadium. The brother Joe Lewis will be following through. We got great guests coming in, players, personnel, people.
Say what? We do our thing every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, taking you right up to kickoff.
We picking the full slate of NFL games. We talking fantasy football. Gino got you covered on all the bets. It's a kickback.
Make sure y'all join the conversation. Smash that like button, smash that share button, and continue to help us push the culture forward.
Don't miss it every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, live here from the West End for the Black People Media Studios.
Todd Stroger here at What's in It for the Black People Media. We would like to wish you and your family a very happy, safe holiday season.
Hey y'all, this is Salim Muwakil from Muwakil's World. In case you missed the last discussion, this is what you missed.
There was a time when there was a large-scale mythology that African people had no endurance. We were only good for sprinting.
Right.
And that was our forte. Other than that, we were useless in marathon races. Establishing your patrimony on the land. If you bury the dead, that means that this land is forever in your family.
Who are our ancestors, really? We are the living ancestors to a whole genealogical line going back hundreds of thousands, millions of years that we carry within us living today. Everyone who preceded us. Mm-hmm. You know, however, that conception took place, whether it was violently, with rape, or whatever the case, but we are them living today.
That's why it's important to understand our capacity, man. Our capacity is unlimited. We have unlimited potential.
Absolutely.
So make sure you tune in Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 to 1 p.m. on What's in It for the Black People Media.
You are tuned in to Minding Our Black-Owned Business. We have now one team.
You and Michael talked about some key steps. Basically, the project needed insurance. I'm now in the space of commercial real estate and trying to understand what that looks like. And so I have a wonderful, normal insurance person that, when I'm doing events and stuff, that covers it. Yep. But what happened is when you have commercial real estate, there's different insurance you need. And when you're getting a loan, my bank wanted 133% of the the actual loan project covered, right? And this number was high in the six figures. We got the quotes from bigger companies like the State Farms and the Countryside and all of them. That's who they were with. I was getting back prices like between $11,000 and $15,000 for like a 6-month policy, for a construction policy. And we got to eat this ridiculous amount of money. And mind you, it's COVID. My company, there's no money coming in. Everything was stopped. I'm like, oh, we got to do it. We got to get this insurance. Michael did that post. And with me, I'm always trying to support not just Black, but my own. If I know you, it's a trust thing, right?
Yep.
So I immediately, as soon as I sent that post, I text Mike. I'm like, dude, can you do this? And it was like a Saturday night. He hit Junior. Really? I'm like, oh, send that contract right now, Junior. We good. And I mean, literally, I didn't know that because we're so used to hearing brands doing insurance. What I've learned during COVID is to stop and really read. I love the pictures and everything, but when you start to read the context, like people be like, when Michael or people are putting stuff and they're saying, are you really reading?
Right.
Or are you just going along with everybody saying congratulations and filtering the first thing that pops up that Facebook wants you to say? And Michael has coached me in so many things that literally saved me money. And I wanted people to know, especially when you're getting into commercial mixed use, if it's property, you need someone with insurance. My insurance person told us, she says, it's best to go through someone like Michael, but people don't know those companies exist because what happens is they would actually solicit Michael for pricing. When Michael would give them a price, then Country Time put their pricing on it, and then the agent has to put their prices on it, and that's why you get triple the cost.
Right.
Everybody's hand is in it because they're reaching out to brokers.
Jackson. If you could make up a social media holiday, what would it be?
Randy said National Don't Let No One Put You Down Day.
No one. What you gonna do? So when they say something crazy, you slap them?
Be like me said. Ricky said a Juke-a-thon day.
Man, we're about 60 years old. I'd be done had a heart attack.
You gotta get your heart rate up.
Okay, not that far.
All right, Mario said my favorite one. My friends and I do what we call National Call Off from Work Day.
As a business owner, I don't. You don't like that? Yeah. I don't like that one.
Because I'm the boss of this family.
We got Marcus Garvey Day from Remy too.
Oh, Marcus Garvey Day. All right, what will we do on Marcus Garvey Day?
Call off from work.
I'm going to need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. That would be great. Okay?
Yeah, right. Every Black holiday has something to do with calling off from work.
You're cool. I'm out.
About National Join a Positive Black Organization Day, because I don't want to be recruited. I don't want to be recruited and the brothers be like, thank you. Thank you. How about National Tell White People the Truth Day? Tell them how you really feel.
You can't handle the truth.
Why don't we call that National Black People Get Locked Up Day?
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Hello.
The most dangerous show in the morning.
WIIFT PM.
Somebody must be in the production studio helping Who's the White Guy choose these beats. 'Cause these beats are pretty solid. These beats are...
Who's the White Guy is Justin Bieber of What's In It for the Black People.
You know what?
He's urbanized.
I'm off of it. I'm off of it. Okay.
I tried to bring him back in.
I'm off of it. I
keep calling me.
I gotta leave the quota alone. I mean, I'm sorry. I gotta leave. I must leave her alone.
Bless your heart.
Big sis said leave her alone. Yeah. So
she didn't call me. She called you.
Right. She didn't tell me shit. she told your ass to stop it. That's funny. So I'm off it. I'm gonna leave that alone. But anyhow, welcome back, y'all. This is I Said What I Said. We are live from the What's In It for the Black People Media Studios. We spent the break trying to run down. I'm being nice, Candace. I'm being nice. Big sis told me to
Sharice say
cut her
to
be cool.
Actuaries determine the worth, but we ain't ready for that conversation.
Right. We spent the break trying to confirm the report from RO Double that she settled for $300,000. I tend to believe that is accurate. But I do want to make sure that we can confirm that. And we will be speaking with her lawyer in the 5 o'clock hour, so we'll have the opportunity to confirm it directly. I wasn't able to find anything over break. Who's the White Guy is looking, as is Flo. Two and I also were trying to find out if we can confirm that particular figure. We have not been able to do so just yet, but we'll find out here shortly. Either way, though, it sounds about right to me. Like, now I don't know.
Disrespectful to me.
Now I don't know if now that the video is out, the price might have gone up, if that's possible, right?
Price can't go up. Once you settle, you settle.
Yeah, I get that, but I'm saying, where were they at in the process, right? Was there like a verbal agreement on the settlement? Was it signed for? Did it hit the account yet? You know what I'm saying? Like because like, to your point, now that this is a national story, the price is different.
I heard them talking about it on Power. What is it? 105.
Okay.
In New York.
Oh yeah.
Big station. Yeah. So, you had that commentary. You got I think it was Ebro posted it on his Instagram. It's traveling. And in the midst of the Breonna Taylor cases, with the level of similarities, it has legs on the case.
Yeah, all it would take was one person to fire at that door, and they would have killed her too. Or to her own point, she was like, I fear for my life. I feel like if I made the wrong move, I would have been killed in there. Aaron Andrews got $55 million. Really? So Candace is saying Aaron Andrews got $55 million. Now, Aaron Andrews is the sports reporter, the sideline reporter. I like Aaron Andrews. I think she does her job very, very well.
The white woman.
Right, the white woman. And they were like spying on her through a hotel room or something like that. 55 M's for that. Kick your door down and see you with my own eyes, make you stand there in handcuffs for a half hour.
That's also
a couple bucks.
Private entity, though. It's not a public
for sure.
case.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So that changes the context of how you get paid.
Who did she sue and settle on? Was it the hotel or was it ESPN?
It would have had to been the hotel and probably ESPN as well.
That's off the meter. It's 55 M's. You can look at me for $55 million.
Yeah, suing and settlements is a whole career path in America. It's like a whole racket.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people make a whole career out of it, right? People like Benjamin Crump. My bad. I got to get off that too.
BC.
B-Sizzle.
Before Christ.
Before Christ.
Betcha I get this capital.
Betcha I get it.
No, but shout out to. But even that though, I think somebody made a very compelling argument about Benjamin Crump and how he goes and he gets his bread, but he settles the cases before they come to trial. And at some point, as the black populace, if we are going to continue to get our, be in an uproar over police brutality,
it's got to be about more than
it's got to be more about getting bread for those specific people, those specific entities, or those specific families. It has to be about systemic change, and in order to do that, we got to put the system on trial. You know what I mean? And if we're not willing to do that because we'll settle for XYZ amount of dollars,
we settle every time,
and it's a revolving door.
How much is it worth to you? Bull crap. I like that, Gardens. How much is it worth to you for somebody to kick your door in and make you stand butt naked in the middle of your living room? How much would that be worth to you?
I would sell that. I ain't gonna lie. You just see me naked. Hey, that's whatever.
Good for you.
How much I get for that?
Right.
Now life, it's an eye for an eye at that point. My babies at that. You know what I'm saying? My family members. Yeah, man, it's different, man.
Yeah, it's a next level. But I really like your point today, and I'm gonna try. For me personally, I'm going to try and be more intentional about the words I use, the way I approach this conversation, and certainly not make comparisons that don't make sense. It doesn't really make sense to make those comparisons. It's not apples to apples at all. So I need to get past that, accept that, swallow that, and stop. Oh, if it was the way to, I understand. We know that. We already know that, and that's a good point. So I'm gonna try and hold myself accountable to that piece, just because I do think it is. In some ways, it inhibits us from being able to assess the reality of the situation and therefore come up with a game plan for how to combat it, because you're still just complaining about the shit that you can't change. Okay, whatever, right? Tom Brady get all the calls. Okay, Tom Brady gonna get all the calls.
I think we can change it. I just don't think we can change it from that vantage point.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Not the compare and contrast. That's just not real to me.
The 2 hotel companies had to come off $27 million a pop. $10 million for every person that watched my shit sweating.
Shout out to Al Trap. That's funny.
That is very funny.
I'd have put on the show. I'd have been crying. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, my God.
I'd have been clouded. I'm like, you like this, don't you? You like looking at me like this, don't you? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You're jealous, aren't you? Like, I've been talking shit. They'd have beat my ass. Like, they would have fucked me up. Because I'd have been trying to touch him in that deep spot that's really the bane of all. That's really all of them got that.
The
shit.
one officer that covered the sister up,
I think it was black.
The mask, but I was trying to.
I think it was black.
The brother. It looked like the only black person that was there.
Yeah, I think he was black. I think the dude who ultimately came and covered her up, I think that was a black person.
Yeah, I know. They had on the mask, but I couldn't tell.
Yeah. Again, no humanity. It is what it is. And record it without your consent. Yeah, that too.
That's in reference to the hotel joint.
Yeah, I think so. No, I think I think that's in reference to talking about the police piece. I don't know. Either way, it's you about to lose your job. Hey, that video is hilarious too.
Listen, man.
What? Here you go, man.
I just want us to talk about this
Here
real
you
quick.
go.
I know King is coming on in 15 minutes.
Here you go.
I'd never heard this information. They said
come
that
on with
after
it, man.
more than a decade with, how do you say that, Glia Beckley, Tyler Perry reveals he's single. He was with a woman for a decade?
Thought he was a woman for a decade.
Come on, Tyler. Tyler, tell us the truth, Tyler.
What they call it, what you call it when a gay dude got a wife to try to throw the scent off the fact that he's gay? What do you a beard? Right. Who's the white guy coming through?
Who's the white guy knowing those answers?
Coming through.
Yeah.
Who's the white guy? You got a beard? you got a beard? What's your beard's name? What's her name? Who's the white guy?
Tally.
Tally?
Allie. Nah, Allie.
Allie. That makes a lot more sense.
I
who's
thought
the white
she was
guy.
like covering up for the fact.
You should bring Allie in here so we can call her, who's the white girl?
Hey, what if Allie is the thickest black chick you've ever seen in your life?
It's not happening. It's not happening. There's no black woman in America named Allie.
Allie coming here smelling like
There's
cocoa
not a black
butter,
woman
shea
in
oil.
America named Allie. It just doesn't exist.
Allie gonna come here smelling like shea
You
butter.
know what? All bullshit aside, you know who I guess should be for Relationship Friday?
Crave.
It should be who's the white guy. Oh, shit. Because I bet you he has a very different perspective on relationships than most of us.
Sko just pop up when it's relationship talk.
I know. She be trying to get the info.
Right.
Doing the knowledge, son.
Okay, so who's the white guy on Relationship Friday for what?
Just to get perspective, because white people live rosy lives. They're happy. Everything's right.
I don't know about that, man. I don't. We can get him on. We can get him on and get him in trouble.
Yeah, that's the whole plan. I wouldn't take it this serious.
Make sure Allie is watching and just ask him all.
We should bring Allie up in here with him.
Yeah, bring Allie on Relationship Friday. Right?
Hey, who's the white girl? What do you think of who's the white guy?
Who's the white guy? What do you think about black women?
Lori K. Westerfield says she has a black friend named Allie. Lori, you are lying.
Lori K. Westerfield?
Mm-hmm. Allie must be from, where could a black Allie be from? West Virginia?
Is her name Allison? Yeah.
No, there's black Allison. I said Allie. There's a difference. There's a difference.
Yeah, we don't even use the same shortcuts of names. Like, we don't even use the same nicknames. Like, nobody calls black Allison Allie.
What they call her?
Allison?
Oh, yeah. She just got it. Hey, her name would be A.
Hey, check it out.
Hey, check it out. Nah, that's disrespectful.
Nah, nobody does that. But yeah, not Allie. Well, we'll see. Who's the white guy? You up here tomorrow? Oh, yeah. Bring Allie in, man.
No, Lori K. Westerfield says her friend's real name is Allie. She must be from West Virginia. That's the only black people in West Virginia.
You know what?
named Allie.
I know one.
You do?
It just dawned on me.
I don't know none.
I know one.
That's impressive.
Wow. Okay.
Bless their heart.
There you have it.
Their parents was trying to get them ahead in corporate America.
Allie and Cody.
Yeah, Raymond said Allie from Elgin. I guess there are black people in like Bolingbrook. I be forgetting that sometimes. You know what I mean? Those, you know what they call that? The maidens.
Let me ask you a question, too.
What's up?
Why you ain't think, what's his name?
Who?
The filmmaker.
Tyler Perry.
Why you ain't think Tyler Perry had?
I just, him saying he was, been with somebody for a decade. I just said, I just thought about the Boondocks. I just didn't, I know we bullshit, but I just
Ali short for Alexandra.
We were talking about Sister Young, and we were talking about it's so much negative in our community, but sometimes I just want to bring.
Oh no, we have we gotta lighten the mood.
Sometimes we gotta lighten the mood. I know everybody think I'm a curmudgeon, but I like to laugh too.
The shit gets
the weight
sometimes.
gets to be heavy.
Oh, speaking of, man, happy birthday to Brother Sadiq, man. They did another collective conversation. It was dope. Him and Cassie, and it's his birthday today, so he had a couple comedians on. M Dubs came through, and Reggie Reg. Reggie Reg does Denzel impersonation. That if you close your eyes, you would think that Frank Lucas or Alonzo from Training Day was there. It's super dope. So that was good. Shout out to Brother Sadiq. Happy birthday, man. I told him I'm gonna have a tofu sandwich in his honor this evening.
So Maze and Tennille is on the line. They done ganged up. They together. That's the whole black population.
That's the whole black population of Bolingbrook. They all out here.
They're right there in the comments right now.
They are here. Hold on. What you say about Bolingbrook? Tennille pop in like stop the shenanigans.
No, but you're not amazed that Tyler Perry is finally not dealing with his girlfriend anymore? That doesn't amaze you?
It amazes me that he has a girlfriend.
Why?
I didn't think he had one.
Why not?
I thought he had a boyfriend. Well, if you're gonna keep pushing me to it, I'm not gonna back. I'm not gonna run away from it. So whatever. Like that's why I thought that.
I knew you said. That's why I kept asking. I just kept asking why. I know it's coming eventually.
You ignorant. I don't know why you put me in those positions.
I'm not.
You know what I'm on, man. Hurt Magic
shout out
City.
to Tyler, man.
Why meet in Magic City?
Any of the ladies is interested in meeting Tyler Perry at his Atlanta estate. He says he's looking. He's interested and he wants to meet you.
Stars from Bolingbrook. Hey, in that case, we should just keep on talking about Bolingbrook.
Yeah, salute to Bolingbrook, man. I'm gonna go out there one day and see what it's like.
For what?
Have you ever been to Bolingbrook?
For what?
Yeah, me neither.
For what? Yeah, you either need to be from Bolingbrook or visit somebody who lives in Bolingbrook. Outside of that, for what? Yeah, somebody tell me the main attraction in Bolingbrook. Go.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Is Bolingbrook West?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. They don't even got shopping malls. What's out there? I don't know. Never mind.
I don't know. Like I dead ass don't know about what's in Bolingbrook. Only thing I know about Bolingbrook is there was a dude named Kyle Williams that went there when I was in high school. He played football and he was an absolute monster. He ended up I want to say he went down to Oklahoma to play ball, but he was a monster. That's the only thing I've ever known about Bolingbrook.
Yeah, I had some homies that went to college with me. They was from somewhere out that way, but I don't even think they said Bolingbrook, but it was like in that area.
Yeah, so. I can't call it.
They was the blacks.
The WeatherTech stores out there. Okay, so I guess I have been because I know exactly what he's talking about on the IKEA, the WeatherTech store.
The Ghanaians are out there. That's true.
The
Ghanaians. That's what Serafina said the other day. They said the Ghanaians. There's a large Ghanaian population out there.
Serafina did say that. Yeah. If Serafina brought a black dude home.
You said Serafina brought a black dude home.
Yeah, if she did.
Like a
ADOS black dude.
Yeah. Alabama nigga.
Right. That'd be her ass.
Yes, it would.
Her parents would start talking that shit quick.
She said that. That's what she said.
Nah, she said it.
I really want to have that conversation too. I want to bring Serafina in, and maybe we should bring Magda in too. Have that.
Bolingbrook is great for picking up car parts for your Lexus.
Since they have that Ghanaian, lineage and that Haitian lineage, and just to get a real honest dialogue going about how those families interact with American descendants of slaves.
Nah, man. So one day, like one of the first Go ladies, Magda was talking about just growing up in America, black, but being Haitian, right? And what that experience was like to go outside and be a black girl, but then come home, be a Haitian girl, and her parents like, nah, don't fuck with them black kids. And so Maze was like, yo, what were the messages that you were hearing from home? And Magda was keeping it a buck too. She like, yeah, my mom was like, nah, I don't want you mingling with their kind, right? Mm-hmm. She kept it a buck, and so has Serafina. So that's just kind of what it is.
Ooh, Nicole, that would be awesome. Nicole
bring
said
their
bring their parents.
I ain't for it.
I would be so for it.
I ain't for it.
I would be full Tucson on that conversation.
All right, cool. Well, let's say we can do it.
They would be wanting to fight me though. It wouldn't look good. It wouldn't.
Yeah,
they would kick their children out of their house. So that wouldn't be good.
I ain't for it. I mean, I'll sit here and facilitate the conversation like I do, but I don't have no desire. I understand what it is. like Salim said, nobody's going to intentionally come over here and throw themselves in the bottom cast.
Mm-hmm. That's true. But that don't mean you got to.
That don't mean you got to shit on us, though, right?
You ain't got to shit on us.
No, that's how you ingratiate yourself to the other side. Like, you got to shit on the person at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? It's like Killer Man, right? Everybody's trying to kill the same person. Hey, that's it. If you that person, sucks to be you. But I don't want that ball. No, I'm good.
Oh, that is true. Drew Peterson is from Bolingbrook. He was famous. He did kill his 2 wives and got away with it.
Dude.
The last one he got caught on, I think. He had an infraction.
Unfortunately, we have had weekly shootings for the past few months. They just don't make the news. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Even with the schools closed?
Shout out to Bolingbrook. Bolingbrook, if I do remember correctly, there's like a Hispanic population that gets it cracking out there in Bolingbrook on the gang side. But I don't know.
Of course, it's not near as much shooting in Bolingbrook as it is in Chicago, Martha.
Yeah, but I don't know for a fact. I don't know much about Bolingbrook, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not concerned about Bolingbrook.
Shout out to Bolingbrook. I only ever mention it just to mess with me.
Yeah, just to bother them.
That's really all it is. Like, he came in here today. He was
legitimately Drew Peterson and Maze Jackson probably the most popular people from Bolingbrook.
That's probably true.
It's probably who the most famous people from Bolingbrook are.
The 2 most famous people from Bolingbrook, Drew Peterson and Maze Jackson.
Maze is probably a god in Bolingbrook.
Oh, why wouldn't he be?
Yeah,
I dig it. Listen, man. Shout out to Maze, man. Shout out to the hometown kid from Bolingbrook.
It said, what about the girl that ran for mayor from Africa on City So Real? Her
Amara
name is
Enya?
Amara Enya.
Yeah. Now, that's who I voted for. You asked me earlier if
that wouldn't be an honest dialogue, though. If we was bring up and ask those kind of questions, I don't think we would have an honest dialogue.
There's no way she'd have that honest dialogue.
Yeah, I don't think we would.
Not with her aspirations. She couldn't be like, well, yeah, no.
Yeah, I don't really fuck with y'all.
Yeah. Well, at least I was talking.
Vote for me.
Right? That's not. She couldn't have that conversation from an honest perspective. But I like Amara, man. I like Amara a lot. I like a lot of things that she had to say. That is actually who I voted for in the primary. I told you I gave.
Shout out to Tennille Jackson. She just called Maze the Roscoe Jenkins of Bolingbrook, and from now on, he has 2 names: Man Crush Maze and Roscoe Jenkins.
Maze and Roscoe.
He's never going to live those 2 down. Man Crush Maze and Roscoe Jenkins. I'm about to say that one from now on too.
So I went back and watched the start of our show on Tuesday when I was talking about dropping to my knees and thanking the good Lord above for blessing me with the laugh that I had right before we went on air on Tuesday.
Crave.
See, yeah. So you and as I was watching the show, you like, Herb, you need to stop, and I'm like, nah, bro. Like you like, yeah, but Maze is really offended by it. I'm like, that's the funny part. Like, that's if he wasn't genuinely offended by it, I would have been off the joke. But because he's so pissed off about it, I just keep laughing about it. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And I almost got that person to explain themselves to Maze the next day, but you convinced them not to do it.
Because Maze is petty. And Maze will stop letting them come around.
Maze is definitely petty, but Maze knows that he's petty.
But I like the dude. He's funny. He adds comic relief.
Oh,
I don't want Maze to shut him down.
Does he ever? But it would be counterproductive for me to not take advantage of his comedic relief as long as I have the opportunity to. That's why I appreciate the brother.
Yeah, man.
Okay, let's get off of Maze.
Right, we bullshit.
Let's get off of Maze. Let's take a break. When we come back from break, we expect to be having a conversation with Kenan Salter. He is the lawyer who is representing Miss Young in her, I guess, the civil case. I think it should be a criminal case at this point. Now the video is out. I think there is a couple of crimes that were committed by CPD on that night. 1, breaking and entering. 2, unlawful detainment of a fucking human being. 3, sexual assault. 4, like, it's a myriad of shit. It's a litany of shit they did wrong.
I just really hope she didn't settle for $300,000.
We're going to find that out, too. We got to take a break on the other side. We'll have that conversation and more. This is I Said What I Said.
This is retired State Senator Ricky Hendon. This is my new song, Be My Christmas. It's on my House Party CD, produced by house music icon King Farley. It's available on my website, HollywoodHendon.com. And this is our new song, We Getting Lit. The album also has songs like Rona Money. Get the House Party CD in time for Christmas and New Year's Eve.
This is the king of house music, Farley Jack Master Funk, and I endorse Hollywood Ricky Hendon. Let's go to work.
Minding our black-owned business. I I have a good friend with us this morning. I'm so excited. Jonathan Swain is here. KimBarkBeverage.com. We tend to talk about business a lot. We both are in family businesses. Was this the plan? Because you are second generation business owner.
Yeah. No, actually, I'll talk about it from my father's perspective, and I'll talk about it from my perspective. His perspective, he did not want me to be in this business. The liquor business has a sordid history. You know, they call it a sin business. I mean, it's less that now, but it had a very sordid history. He didn't want me to do this. He wanted me to go off to school. My father was the first person to fire me at 9 years old. I was supposed to be at work at 11 o'clock, and I showed up 5 minutes late, walked me outside, and fired me. And I'll never be late again. So I appreciate him for that. I walked home. My mother said, well, what happened? I said, Dad fired me. What happened? I was late. He said, well, you got fired. You're late. Can't be late. Told you to get up and leave. My side of it, in many ways, I have a very unique rearing experience in that I've never seen my father work a job. So when I was born, my dad was an entrepreneur. Growing up, I'm going to own my own business. I'm going to be in business doing something, controlling my own destiny in some ways. In particular, my father's generation relative to us, there's not a lot of information transfer about how that works. And there's not a lot of context. It's kind of, I'm going to keep you away from the struggles I had so you don't have them. But in not seeing the struggles, you don't know how to get through the struggles. But as I've gotten older and we developed a relationship and talked about it, I began to understand a lot of the bumps and the bruises and the challenges and what makes entrepreneurship, business ownership, not for the weak and weary. All the success I've had in business has been a function of with my parents. As fortunate as I am and people look to my business story, there is no business story but for them and what they did. I mean, my dad was the first black business owner in Hyde Park in the 1970s. Hyde Park, though it's welcoming and inclusive now, wasn't always that way.
Yeah.
There are a lot of stories that he would tell us about the challenges that he had being a black-owned business in Hyde Park back in the 1970s. That success comes from their legacy ultimately.
Jackson. If you could make up a social media holiday, what would it be?
Randy said National Don't Let No One Put You Down Day.
No one. What you gonna do? So when they say something crazy, you slap them?
Be like me, said. Remy said a Jukathon Day.
Man, we're about 60 years old. I be done had a heart attack.
You gotta get your heart rate up.
Okay, not that far.
All right, Mario said my favorite one. My friends and I do what we call National Call Off from Work Day.
As a business owner, I don't.
You don't like that, yeah?
I don't like that one.
Because I'm the boss of this family.
We got Marcus Garvey Day from Remy too.
Oh, Marcus Garvey Day. All right, what will we do on Marcus Garvey Day?
Call off from work.
I'm going to need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. That would be great. Okay?
Yeah, right.
Every black holiday has something to do with calling off from work.
You're cool. I'm out.
About National Join a Positive Black Organization Day? Because I don't want to be recruited. I don't want to be recruited and the brothers be like, thank you. Thank you. How about National Tell White People the Truth Day? Tell them how you really feel.
You can't handle the truth.
Why don't we call that National Black People Get Locked Up Day?
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Hello.
The most dangerous show in the morning.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
Todd Stroger here at What's in It for the Black People Media. We would like to wish you and your family a very happy, safe holiday season.
Are you curious to explore the intellectual currents that channel our thoughts and frame our reality? Have you ever meditated for relaxation and accidentally discovered the universe in the process? These matters and many more you may never have even thought of will be yours to explore as you come with me into Muwakil's world. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 to 1, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
Minding our black-owned business. We're hanging out this morning with Michael Drayton. We're talking money. Talk to me about investments and your viewpoint on Robinhood and somebody looking to get started in investments.
The Robinhood phenomenon is an app that was initially created so that people can sort of get involved in stocks by buying what's called partial shares, right? You know, at one point, Tesla's stock was over 1,000, heading up some ridiculous, right? Perhaps the share was too expensive for the So Robinhood said, let them buy $50 worth of this particular share to give them access. People started doing what is called trading, which is what I do. Trading is primarily short-term holding. You enter the stock, hope it goes up, and you take the money out. Or I won't get into some of the other strategies. So what this phenomena did create is a new class of investors that took Wall Street off guard. Basically, it was all of this new money coming in, and a lot of the money came in from the stimulus checks, by the way, because people were at home and they needed something to do. They weren't as privy to DraftKings as they are now, because DraftKings is a betting application. Two things. Anytime you get money, whether it's $1 and I can't give specifics out for legal reasons, but there's only two ways you're really making money. You're making money based on appreciation, or you're making money based upon interest coming in. If you're looking for income streams, you have to find money that is paying interest. If you're looking to hold long term, you want to look at more equity long positions with the hopes of the market going up, which is why people buy real estate. Robinhood is but one application that is able to do that. Underlining issues are Wall Street sort of dismissed the Robinhood culture when it started. They're uneducated investors. They don't know what they're doing. They're just following the trend or whoever. And what happened is Robinhood investors ended up creating this scenario where the market started going up because there's so much buying going on and so much activity going in.
This is Dawn Millhouse from the Book of Dawn. Christmas and holiday time means giving to me. Make certain that you give of yourself to somebody else. This is Dawn. Happy holidays from the Book of Dawn.
WIFTV.
That's why we shine wherever we go. 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 Lord, Lord. Welcome to the mind of a pothead. On my head, see a young nigga got dressed. We don't give a fuck what the cop said. I'm living a legacy. So even when I die, I am not dead. Nigga, I am not dead. Fuck with me.
Welcome back. We are live from the What's in It for the Black People Media Studios alongside Toussaint Warner. My name is Herb Howard. This is I Said What I Said. It is intellectual thuggery at its absolute finest. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We greatly appreciate each and every one of you all tuning in this afternoon. We are keenly aware that you could literally be doing anything else in the world right now. The fact that y'all are here with us means a whole lot to us. We do not take it for granted. Thank y'all so much, whether you tune in on Facebook, tuned in on YouTube. We appreciate each and every one of you all. Started the conversation earlier. We were talking about the response that came from Mayor Lori Lightfoot after the video has finally come out, spread across the country. We took a wider view of the conversation in the second hour, and now here in the 5 o'clock hour, as we told you, we are joined, absolutely thrilled to be joined by Keenan Salter. He is representing Miss Young in this case. First of all, Attorney Salter, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. I appreciate you guys having me. I don't have the pleasure of knowing you as well as I know Brother Toussaint, but I've known Brother Toussaint for probably at least 10 years. Yeah, it's been a minute.
How you doing, brother? You good?
I'm good. It's been a crazy week, but it's looking up, and so I appreciate you guys having me. I follow you guys on social media, so I know what you do. Obviously, I know Mays Jackson well also, and so I appreciate what you guys are doing bringing a real voice to of the community to the community.
Man, I appreciate how you said that, man. I like that.
Yeah, we received that, and we certainly appreciate it, and we send it right back to you. Thank you so much for standing in the space that you have been standing in, and certainly the one that you find yourself standing in right now. You said it's been a busy week, so thanks again for taking the time out of your schedule to even chop it up with us on what has to be a really, really busy time for you. So let's just jump right into it. When did you first learn of this incident? How were you initially contacted, and why did you decide to take on this particular case?
So, what may not be clear to a lot of people, Ms. Young and I actually, we go to church together. So our relationship is much more organic than, you know, she saw my website or I chased her down. You know, in the moments that seemed like a lifetime for her, you watched her plead many things on that video. One of the key things she pled was, let me call somebody. Right. So even if she had been fully clothed, a Black woman surrounded by 12 non-Black police officers with guns, long guns, destroying her home. Had she been clothed, her natural instinct would have been, I think, to say, hey, like, I need someone else here on my side.
Absolutely.
And so of the other things she was pleading, you got the wrong house 43 times.
43 times.
How do you expect me to calm down when you got me sitting here handcuffed, naked? The one of the guys had the audacity to ask her to calm down.
Yeah,
can you imagine?
Told her to stop yelling.
Times, right?
Can you imagine the utter? I'm not going to use the word I want to use. The other audacity.
We can use those words, dog.
You can say it how you feel it here, because
say it how you feel it.
Trust me, when I saw the video yesterday in its entirety, I said a whole lot of words. So say it however you want to feel, however you feel it, if you like. There's no way to imagine that piece, right? You're standing in your own house. They shouldn't be there. They broke into your apartment. They have you handcuffed, naked, standing in your living room, and this man has the audacity to tell you to calm down and stop yelling.
That speaks to, you know, I've said a couple of different times in a couple of different spaces, approximately 35 to 40 minutes into this ordeal, when they finally let her put some semblance of clothes on.
Right. A blanket.
No, I'm talking about after that. I'm talking about when they let her put on a t-shirt and some jogging pants. And I was talking with my wife about that yesterday. You know, I'm not trying to get like graphic or gory, but like even when she put on a t-shirt, like she didn't have on the normal kind of garments that she would have on under that
12
t-shirt.
strange men.
Exactly. Right. So she was, but at least she was quote unquote covered. So anyway, so it wasn't until after she was able to put on that decent modicum of clothing, after there had already been a discussion off body cam purposely, right? Turned off her body cameras, went outside, had a discussion. Oh, maybe she's right. I think we may have the wrong house. Came back in. It was only then that they asked her name. And that may seem insignificant in the grand scheme of this entire situation, but I contend that was the first moment they ever thought to view her as a human being. Because it was like, oh, we can't just continue to operate the way we normally do because we actually may have the wrong house. And yeah, by the way, she is standing here stark raving naked. And so maybe we should actually consider this. And I've said in many places and many spaces this week, this just would not have happened in Lincoln Park. It wouldn't have happened in Mount Greenwood. It likely wouldn't have happened in Beverly.
Right.
And
it wouldn't have happened to a white woman. And I appreciate you saying that on live on national television.
It's the truth. It's the truth. Because, you know, as has been said, I certainly didn't coin the phrase, but it's certainly a true phrase. Mm-hmm. The most disrespected person on this soil, and who has been for at least 400 plus years, is a Black woman. And the fact, and so there's so many layers psychologically that were underpinning their decision making that day, not the least of which, she was not viewed as someone who was vulnerable enough to them to need protection. Mm-hmm. And that's just, there's so many aspects of that make that so troubling to watch as a man with a mother, with a wife, with daughters, with a sister. Our natural instinct is to protect each other. And I think generally that goes across racial lines, it goes across ethnic lines. generally people want to protect other people. And I think, I'm going to say my belief. I'm not trying to impose that on somebody else, but as a man, I feel it's my responsibility to protect the women around me to the extent that I can. And for them not to view her worthy of protection, and quite frankly, to view her as less than human, it's endemic to some much larger issues.
Kenny, we got a couple questions from our comments too, and we was having this conversation even before you joined us. One, there was a rumor going through our comment section, and we didn't find any reference to this or not, but they said that there's already been a settlement offered in the case. Is that true or no?
That's not true.
Okay. Second question was, what's the validity on these GoFundMe's? There's a few of them going around, at least in our conversation, saying some will have like $20,000 to $30,000 in them. You know anything about these GoFundMe's that are set up for Ms. Young?
So I know about one that's legitimate. Let me be very clear about that. The one that I know of, and I want to, let me try to, if I can quickly try to pull it up.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
Sure,
there is one that was set up by a colleague of hers, and Miss Young has directed that GoFundMe that was set up by her colleague, that those funds will be directed to. I mentioned that we met each other at church and we go to church together, will be directed to our counseling and justice ministry and our social justice ministry at our church. So the one that is set up by her colleague by the name of Eve Ewing, that's a GoFundMe that Ms. Young authorized.
Okay.
Do you know what that one is?
If it is, we'll post it in our comment section.
So I have a screenshot that I'm looking at in my phone. But here's what I can tell you. It says it has Miss Young's face. She has on like a black sweater and like a T-shirt of Breonna Taylor's face. It says "I am her." It says support Anjanette Young in speaking truth to power. It said it has a goal of $30,000. And Eve Ewing, EWING, is the organizer, and Ms. Young supports this GoFundMe. That's the only one I know of as of the last time I spoke with her that she has endorsed and supports, and that she's directing all of those funds be directed to our church, Progressive Baptist Church, social justice ministry, and our counseling and justice center, which we're currently building.
Okay, cool.
Let me ask you another question, attorney. There's a video, there was a press conference, and Jamal Green was speaking at it. Can you speak to his role in this particular case at this moment?
So, we were at the same press conference. I'm assuming, unless there was one today that I didn't see. You mean yesterday?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, Jamal Green has been very helpful to us in being an activist and pushing the narrative forward, right? So our press conference yesterday started at about 11:45 a.m. It was immediately before the mayor's press conference yesterday. And, there are several things that the mayor said yesterday that I suspect, based on her press conference today, she regrets. There were certain things that I said yesterday that, had anybody been listening to what I was saying, would have actually informed her of some sort of issues, i.e. the fact that Ms. Young herself filed a FOIA on her own behalf in November of 2019. The mayor kind of dismissed that probability or possibility yesterday during her press conference. The fact that the mayor's office was absolutely aware of Ms. Young and this raid last year. So I think what the mayor said today, in a point of clarification, seemed to be that she didn't know she had not seen these videos until Tuesday morning. And in trying to take that at face value, that's fine. But her administration certainly has seen those videos before Tuesday morning, and they have been actively trying to suppress those videos from becoming public for 13 months. And so somebody knew, somebody who works for her.
Absolutely.
Somebody knew how horrific these videos were. Somebody knew the reaction, A, the city of Chicago, and now B, the United States was going to have to seeing these videos. And they absolutely didn't want that to happen. And what was so outrageous to me during the entirety of this entire situation, and I expressed it yesterday, and I'll express it here again, this is the city of Laquan McDonald. May he rest in peace. It took a 3-year legal battle to get those videos released.
Right.
It took a Black Friday protest that I happened to attend that day. I'll never forget that day on the Magnificent Mile. 16 shots in the cover-up to get those videos released. And we all, I assume, and I'm sure knowing you two, we were all in favor of that.
Absolutely.
And for us to be the city of Laquan McDonald in the year of Breonna Taylor, to continue to try to withhold these videos, somebody at the city's got to answer some really difficult questions.
Yeah, I don't accept that she didn't know. Even if it's the truth. Even if it's the truth, I don't accept it, right? If it's the truth that you didn't know, I still don't accept it because I see that as only being possible in one of two ways, right? Because if that video comes out, right, by any other means, the video comes out and she doesn't know about it, that's a fireable offense for whomever in her administration did know, right, for not coming to tell me. And so the only thing that's left is that if you didn't see it, somebody came to you and said, listen, there's a video. It's in your best interest to not see it. But it involves Chicago Police Department illegally entering a woman's home and detaining her naked for a half hour, right? Like, and at that point, she should be like, nah, hell nah. Show me the video, right? Show me the video. We got to hold people accountable for this. But that's not what she's doing right now. That's not what she has done. Let me ask you this. Ultimately, and I don't know where we are in the process, but ultimately, what is the goal of this particular litigation?
That's a great question. In the first 2 points, people rightfully so understand that the end result of civil litigation typically is to request monetary damages, right? Sure. That's not where we are right now. Where we are right now, and Jeanette said this yesterday during our press conference, is why she wore that Breonna Taylor t-shirt in her first sit down with Dave Savini. But for the grace of God, that could have been her, right? And so here's what I contend. The mayor got close to this today, but not close enough, in my opinion. What I contend is that if there is body camera footage or dash camera footage, we don't play games, political or otherwise, with when, how we release it. Instead, and this actually, if people can think about this differently, including the city and the police department, it actually insulates and protects them because it's transparency. Then we never get to this place of, well, I didn't know. No. If there's video requested by a suspect or a subject of a video, or quite frankly, the media, right? I need to give a shout out to Dave Savini. It's interesting to me now how many people are interested in this story, but you all probably know Dave Savini has been covering this story for 2 years, not just Anjanette's, but just generally the way the Chicago police have been violating the homes of Black and brown people we know that's been going on for decades, right? But it's been going on now with body cameras post Laquan McDonald for several years. And so this case, this instance, and the nature of the attempted cover-up just happened to be the straw that broke the camel's back. That doesn't mean those other situations aren't as important as Miss Young, where they pointed guns in the faces of children, handcuffed 8-year-olds, right? And sadly, what happens in a city like ours, it becomes almost a deluge of trauma, right? If you're a Black person in America, generally, you've experienced a lot of trauma, right? And if you're in a city like this, you experience a lot of trauma. And so I think all of us are probably guilty of being like, man, that's messed up what they did to them. Man, that's terrible. But then they did it again. Then they killed somebody. Then 16 kids got shot over the weekend. Right. And it's just, I see Toussaint talk about this all the time on his Facebook page. Like the psychological level of trauma that has been done to Black people in America generally, in this city specifically, and continues to be done, is something that would take so much professional level counseling that there's probably not enough money to pay for it.
That's real.
Yeah, that's real. We just talked about how this is like a normalized incident at this point, Absolutely. It's not even shocking anymore. You know what I mean? In the sense of leveraging this particular case, though, the fact that she was nude, the fact that she was older, and the fact that Breonna's case had just, was in the public eye brings light to this kind of a case. So that works in you all's favor for sure.
You asked me a question. I didn't finish answering. So let me finish answering the question. You asked me what is the goal. So I purposely didn't talk about financial. I'm not saying that won't be the goal at some point, but to me, there's more important work to be done now. And so one goal is, like I said, release all video all the time. Because if you're a good police officer, and there are good police officers, right? Don't do that. Don't do that. There are good police officers. But here's the thing. Body cameras and dash cameras protect good police officers, and they protect good police work. And conversely, they shine a light on bad police officers and bad police work. And I think you're more likely to have a society with better policing if everyone understands that everything they do will be released if anybody asks about it. I'm not saying it's perfect, because clearly we know people have been shot on camera and it didn't matter, right? I get that. But it's better than the alternative of when we want to release video and we want to, as an example, shame the chief of police or the former chief of police. Sure. That video comes out immediately.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, but then in other instances, it's an ongoing investigation. You can't have it both ways. You telling me Eddie Johnson's case wasn't an ongoing investigation when that video got released?
Right.
Of course it was.
Right. Yeah. Let me ask you this. As I see it, and certainly I don't know the law as you do, but as I see it, there were several criminal offenses that occurred in Miss Young's apartment on that evening. Is there any conversation or any thought of pursuing this as a criminal case?
So, well, let me answer your last question most directly.
Sure.
And you know this, I think, probably anyway. I nor Miss Young have the capability of bringing criminal charges in this case. And I know you know that, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but your point is well taken. So what you're really asking about is there was a battery, right? So a battery, just as a classic legal definition, is any unwarranted touching. So clearly that happened, right? There is an invasion of privacy. There were multiple things that happened. As you all both know, a significant issue as it relates to policing in America is qualified immunity. And qualified immunity allows a wide breadth of things to occur under the guise of police work that otherwise would absolutely be crimes.
Right. Like
if you were
like a breaking in her house.
Let's start there. Right. Pointing weapons at somebody. If I point a weapon at you and you didn't threaten my life, that's an assault. As a matter of fact, it's an aggravated.
Tying up a naked person in the middle of a living room.
That's trespassing, kidnapping. I mean, you know, the list could go on and on.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm fully aware that is not within your purview to bring those charges. But I was just curious if there were any conversations about it from the other side, maybe from the mayor's office or even from 35th in Michigan, which of course is not happening there. But you know, this thing just continues to evolve, and obviously we're 2 years after when this initially happened, and so now you have the mayor who said, "Hey, I wasn't in office when this happened, right? And that wasn't my administration, right?" And it's like, but you've known, and the cover up has happened under your watch.
Exactly, and I think, you know, yesterday's press conference by the mayor was unfortunate for a few reasons, and as I watched it, I knew she was not getting all the information, because there were facts that I knew and that people in her administration knew that she was misstating, and they didn't serve her well. So that's why we had today's press conference where she had to come out and clarify a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she admitted, as it relates to a reporter from the Chicago Tribune, that she allowed her anger to get the best of her, talking about him. But the reality is, I think she probably allowed her anger to get the best of her the entire time.
The whole time.
Which is why we shouldn't excuse her behavior in the first place.
Right.
Because she's controlled by her anger. You know what I mean? That's what they say, ignorance of the law is no excuse of the law.
Right.
Right? So just because you didn't know doesn't give you the platform to speak to people the way that she was speaking to people in that press conference. But I got another question, though, Ken. You said there are some good police officers. And I just want to double back because...
Let me get some water before you ask me that one.
I'm going to sit this one out.
But you also said, right, we talked about qualified immunity. You know what I mean? Right. And I think about, how do we justify there being a such thing as good police officers when we know just by the very nature of being in America, there's implicit biases associated with black people, and most of them are on the negative end of the spectrum. You know?
Sure.
So when you have like qualified immunity, implicit biases, and somebody with a badge and a gun, it just seems like a recipe for disrespect, just like you said about Ms. Young. In that video, when they put the robe around, it was the first time she was treated or seen as human. Right now, implicit bias is a narrative. I'm listening.
Let me clarify. So I didn't say when they put the robe. So it wasn't a robe. It was a comforter they ripped off her bed and they put it around her.
You right.
But they didn't. But it kept coming open, and then finally one guy came and held it. Right.
Right.
But where I thought they actually first viewed her as a human being was after she actually had a shirt and pants on, and they asked her name
and recuffed her after they put the shirt and pants on her.
Of course.
Wow.
Of course.
You qualifying that as being treated humanely.
That's where we are.
That's bad, bro.
Right, that's where we are.
I don't disagree with you.
Mm-hmm. That's where we are. Attorney Salter, we need to take a break. Can you stick around with us for a little bit?
Only a little bit. And I'm not trying to be like.
All right, well, don't worry about it. We're not gonna take the break. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're not gonna take the break. Let me know when you got to get out of here because we can go on and on with this conversation, but we'll skip the break so we can finish this conversation. When you see the video and you see it evolve as it does, and you see those officers go outside, right, and then now they're talking about whether or not they even had a legal warrant to enter this apartment. Obviously, that specific apartment they did not, but they questioned the actual validity of the warrant at all, right? And then there's a point where the body cam is turned off at seemingly a point where critical information was about to be explained or exposed, right?
An admission of guilt.
And an admission of guilt was about to come down. Is there anything that can be done with those pieces, whether that's from the two officers in the car who were reviewing the paperwork or those two officers who simply stepped outside and was like, okay, here's what's going on. We fucked up.
So I'm not going to use that word.
That's not Attorney Keenan Salter. That's Herb Howard speaking for himself.
Hey, man, I feel like you're in the garage with us, man. We just talking to each other.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. You are in the middle of the biggest case in the country right now. You don't do that.
That's real. I would have.
Yeah, I can't do that. I can't do that this week. But here's what I'll say. So some of it was missed, but some of it was not missed, right? So, and then what we ultimately know is there is an admission on video that we now finally we believe your story, right? So it can be pieced together that there are multiple points of acknowledgement that they understood they had the wrong place. And so you're right. So I think the fundamental question was what happens and why we're turning off our body camera. That goes against policy.
Right.
It completely goes against policy. That's never supposed to happen. And it's certainly not ever supposed to happen for the reason that it did. So you can have a discussion that you don't want recorded.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that as long as and that's where I come in on this good cop, bad cop conversation. I don't believe there to be a single good cop within anybody's police department. And it's not the individuals. I know people in my personal life that I love dearly who happen to be police officers. Some of them are, a couple of them come to mind, and they are literally two of the very best people I know walking the face of this earth. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't call even them good cops because I don't think that there's room for good cops within a system, within a chosen career path that is just so inherently unjust to a specific group of people. And unless I start to see these good cops calling these bad cops to the carpet, then I can't in good conscience say that they're good cops. They are not. They always turn blue in the moment of truth. They're not going to come out and say, yo, what just happened in that lady's apartment? Bogus. We shouldn't have been in there. The warrant was bogus. We broke into the apartment. Nobody's gonna do that. They're all gonna turn blue and try to figure out how can we cover this thing up. Laquan McDonald was shot 16 times by one officer. There were several other officers on the scene. Jason Van Dyke was the last person to get there. So all y'all other officers know good and hell well that boy shouldn't have been shot dead on that street. Nobody came out and said that though. All these good cops, like until the good cops start calling these bad cops to task for what they do, I can't call them good cops. That's just me. And I'm not asking you to take that stance at all. That's just where I come in on it because, man, it's like at some point it's just about being a decent human being. Here is a grown woman. This could be your mother. This is somebody's grandmother standing in her living room, butt naked. Not one of y'all can be a decent enough human being to say, wait a minute, y'all. Okay, even at the point we don't know we're in the wrong spot yet, right? Even at the point we may still find weapons or whatever we're looking for in this apartment. Clearly, it's not on her, right? She's standing there naked, so she doesn't have the weapon on her. There are 12 armed police officers, men, in her apartment. This lady's not going to overpower y'all. Sit her on the couch, cover her up, give her some decency, give her some dignity, treat her like a human being. And then y'all can search and do whatever y'all got to do. Still, y'all going to find out y'all wrong and y'all shouldn't be here, but y'all don't have to do that to her in this process. It's unbelievable how they treated her.
So clearly we agree that it's unbelievable how they treated her. Clearly, I agree that fundamentally it's empirically proven the criminal justice system in the United States of America is implicitly and explicitly biased against Black people. Full stop. Right? So we agree there. I think where I probably, and this is a nuanced conversation, one that we probably going to have to pick up another day because we could talk an hour about this. But I do want to say this. Like you, I have some personal friends who are police officers, right? Who I do think are good people and are good cops. What I think you're attacking, and rightfully so, is the fundamental way law enforcement is done in this country.
Right.
Generally, and in this city specifically.
Right.
And you're right to attack that, right? There are a lot of reasons why that is. I don't think we as a community talk enough about how hard it is to be a Black officer, because you pretty much have two choices, right? So let's put. I'm gonna do something. And then I'm gonna get ready to sign off. Sure. Let's insert into Miss Young's situation 3 Black male police officers, 1 Black female police officer, and another, let's say, Hispanic female police officer. I believe that the situation would have turned out differently. And that's generally why diversity matters at every level, not just diversity of race, but diversity of thought. So, but where police officers run into challenges, certainly Black police officers, is like you are forced at some point in your career to pick a lane.
You are.
And the lane often comes down to, particularly when you work in a city like Chicago, like, do you want us to have your back or not? Right?
Right.
They train on that. I was reading an amazing article by this guy. I believe the title of it is Confessions of a Former Bastard Cop, or of a Bastard Cop, or something like that. And when I find it, I'll shoot it to you guys. It won't be this week. But anyway, he talked about how the training of this mentality starts in the academy. So he was in LA. He's on the West Coast. He said that in the academy, the supervisors would openly tell everybody, the recruits, hey guys, if you see something wrong, we're all about transparency and accountability, and we want you to tell us. You see a fellow recruit doing something the wrong thing, let us know. He said that they did that, and then a couple people would come forward. And you know what the instructors did? They called them out in front of everybody. And they did that to drill into those recruits' head that all you got on the street is your brother or sister officer. But then when we turn a bit to policing in this city, the police union is a significant problem. It's a significant problem because while I don't want to get deep into this, but I mean, look at the person who they just elected. Look at the person who the rank and file decided was the best person to represent them. And so that tells us that, and I'll go a step further. I have no data for this, but I would imagine that the majority of rank and file Black officers would not have preferred him as their first choice. So you all probably saw it. There was a significant movement here amongst retired Black police officers, some retired Black CPD officers coming out in support of current Black police officers against the union. Right? Like there are multiple layers to this, but ultimately the reason why I made that comment about let's insert some diversity into that room is because the black male police officer would look at Miss Young and be like, man, that's my auntie.
For sure.
Right? The black female police officer will be like, that's me.
Right.
Let's get this woman some clothes.
Right.
Real quick, Kenny, we was having this conversation before you jumped on. There was the officer that had on the face mask that covered up with the blanket. Was that a black officer? Because we was having that debate on air before.
Yeah, we both kind of thought that the officer who finally came and covered her just a little bit, we thought that officer may have been black.
Not to my understanding.
Okay.
Let me not do what the mayor did yesterday because he had a face mask on. I don't know definitively,
right?
But it is not my understanding that was a black officer.
Okay, cool. Last thing for me. Can you give us a general timeline of events in terms of what you see as the next major checkpoint on in this process, if you will?
So I know what Ms. Young desires is to see. So the mayor talked a lot today about transparency and accountability, and that's what Ms. Young not only wants, it's what she demands, right? So before we get to the discussion about money, we've got to have some policy changes, right? There's got to be a more fundamental understanding that when video is requested, video is turned over, period, full stop. And there's got to be COPA, COPA is not doing a good job of investigating anybody. To my understanding, it's been 20 months since this incident occurred. It's been 13 months since they denied Ms. Young's FOIA request from November of 2019. They denied it under the guise of an ongoing investigation. So in 13 months, you could have taken your time and talked to one officer a month and have a month to spare, and they haven't interviewed any of them. That's a problem.
Yeah, that's a huge problem. Tu, you got anything else before we get him up out of here?
I know he got to get up out of here, man. But I read also that they tried to penalize her for violating a confidentiality order, and this was like right after the day after the event happened. What kind of confidentiality order could she have signed the day after that happened?
That's a deep conversation, and it's the subject of ongoing litigation. But I'll break it down in about 30 seconds. On Monday, when the city corporation council got wind of the fact that CBS 2 was going to air that story on Monday night at 10, they went into federal court and attempted to have CBS 2 enjoined from airing the videos. As a part of that, they also included a motion for sanctions against Ms. Young, against the plaintiff, right? So the plaintiff is Ms. Young, for allegedly releasing the videos. They changed course yesterday and made it clear that the motion for sanctions was against yours truly and not Ms. Young. And I'm going to leave that there because that's still the subject of ongoing ongoing litigation.
Okay.
If you are just joining us, we have spent the last 40 minutes or so speaking to Attorney Keenan Salter. He is representing Ms. Young in her case against Chicago Police Department, City of Chicago. Listen, Brother Keenan, man, you are up against the biggest gang in the city and a whole bunch of gangsters down in City Hall, brother. You stay dangerous, all right, and stay safe out there.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Y'all stay safe,
brother.
All right,
salute
thanks,
you. We
guys.
appreciate you. It's always open door, man. As things continue to develop, please come back and talk to us.
No doubt.
Indeed, brother. Be good.
My man, appreciate it.
Peace.
Again, that was Attorney Keenan Salter, kind enough to spend 40 minutes or so with us to bring us the latest on the case as he continues to represent Ms. Young in her case against the Chicago Police Department and the City of Chicago. We have to take a break. We'll come back. We'll put a bow on this conversation. We'll take your perspectives. Leave your comments. Leave your contributions to the conversation in the comments. We'll read through as many of them as we can. I'm back. This is I Said What I Said, Herb and 2 for another 15 minutes. We'll be right back.
Girl Mona Mia, production intern here at What's In It for the Black People Media, just wishing you a happy holiday and a Merry Christmas.
where my steppers at? This is retired State Senator Ricky Hendon. This is my new song, Be My Christmas. It's on my House Party CD, produced by house music icons King Farley. It's available on my website, HollywoodHendon.com, various streaming platforms, and CDs. The album also has songs like We Getting Lit and Rona Money. Get the House Party CD in time for Christmas and New Year's Eve. This is our new song, We Getting Lit. Just in time for New Year's Eve. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Go to HollywoodHendon.com and get my music. Let's bring in 2021. Ricky Hollywood Hendon. Don't forget me, y'all.
This is the king of house music, Farley Jack Master Funk, and I endorse Hollywood Ricky Hendon. Let's go to work.
WIFTBPM.
What's going on, family? We are back. We are live from the beautiful What's in It for the Black People Media Studios alongside Toussaint Warner. My name is Herb Howard. This is I Said What I Said. This intellectual thuggery at its absolute finest. Too is dancing a jig over here. Just wrapped up an interview with attorney Keenan Salter. He is representing Anjanette Young. In her.
We should have asked him what church he went to, too. Shout out to
No, he said it. It was Progressives. I meant to ask him again to confirm it.
Okay, I missed it.
Because eventually I'm going to want to talk to them.
But I'm just glad that she has a real personal relationship with Keenan, which means that he's going to approach the conversation from a different vantage point instead of just some random name in the phone book.
I'm concerned
who
about
I called who represented me.
I'm concerned about him.
Yeah, he's going against the biggest gang in the city.
Yeah, I'm concerned.
But I'm plugged too, so we rocking and we standing with.
Oh, we rolling 100%. We gonna make whatever calls need to be.
That's my man. He's a real good brother.
We gonna make whatever calls need to be made. That being said, as tied in as we are to the underworld, right? They're still the biggest gang in the city, so I'm worried about them. Anyhow,
guns in the hood too.
Not worried to the point where I would advise them to like stop or ease up. Like go hard.
He's in the center of a national conversation.
Right. So that protects him for the minute. Being in the eye of the storm is safe.
And Chicago's a different demon though, right? This is not Georgia. He's not gonna be able to play it like Benjamin Crump, but he's going to be able to play it in a way that's going to get him some validity, bring some attention to his firm. Hope he does right by Miss Anjanette Young.
I'm sure he will, man. It was very, very refreshing to talk to him. It was very, very refreshing to hear how he spoke of it. Appreciate you, Ivy. Ivy said it was Progressive Baptist Church. Yeah, I thought so. It was refreshing to talk to him. I've spoken to a lot of these attorneys on a lot of these cases and interviewed them many times over, and it comes with a lot of bullshit. It comes with a whole lot of, I can't get into this, and ultimately you can see straight through this shit. You're just trying to get to the first check you can get to, right? It was refreshing to know, one, that ain't even how I came up on her. You know what I'm saying? I didn't go look for her. She didn't come and stumble across my website. Absolutely. I have a personal relationship with this lady from church, no less.
Authentic relationship.
Right? And so that in and of itself, I would believe, causes him to operate a little differently in this case than, say, a Benjamin Crump or whomever, right? And I'm tired of picking on him. I need to stop. I don't know that man like that. But I've been picking on him for like a week now.
You ain't got to know him to know him. You know him.
That's true. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm sorry. Say what I said.
Right. That is what it is.
So anyway, yeah, I hope I know he's battle tested. You know, I'm let me be clear. I'm not calling in to question his ability to fight this case in any way, shape, or form. I think the brother is as qualified or more qualified to handle this case as anybody else in the country. I'm just worried about him. Is all I'm saying. Not like can he do the job.
I was worried about that 300 number that was circulating in the comments earlier, saying that she had already settled for a $300,000 settlement. So I'm glad that wasn't true. And I hope they, get everything they can get out of the situation.
Yeah. And, this idea of, wanting to see policy change more so than wanting to see, a few zeros at the end of a check, right? Like, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I think, we keep having the conversation, right? You just keep poking the bear. You keep poking the bear. And eventually the bear's going to have to respond. You know what I mean? Like I said, and even Keenan acknowledges, right, this is normalized behavior, right? So eventually, either you're going to have to respond or we're going to respond. Like,
make a decision before I do.
You better make a decision before we do. You know what I mean? And that's my moniker going into 2021. You better make a decision before I do.
I like that.
You know what I mean?
I like that a lot, man.
And I think we need to stand on that and believe in that philosophy, like going forward. I know, again, back to the conversation of masculinity we always have in here. That's how black men got to show up, whether it be in the capacity as a lawyer or whether it be in the capacity as a corner
shooter.
boy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You better make a decision before we do. Straight up.
Yeah, you get your lawyers and your shooters and your entrepreneurs together. Now you got a pretty tightly wound fist that you can actually knock somebody out with.
That's right. Stop
You know
throwing these
Stop
slap
slapping
boxing
people.
punches.
Stop all this. And definitely stop ducking and hiding. Get your fist in order. Get all your pieces to that fist, ball that thing up, and swing as hard as you can, man.
Absolutely.
That's your lawyers, that's your judges, that's your businessmen, and
Ken's
that's
a
also
real
your
dude,
street
man.
dudes.
We talk offline.
Yeah.
So you could imagine some of them kind of conversations. So he's an official guy.
Yeah, for
You
sure,
know
for
what I
sure,
mean?
man. So salute to Brother Keenan for taking the time out to come and chop it up with us. It has to be an extremely, extremely busy week, and I don't see it slowing down anytime soon. I'm sure Mayor Lightfoot would like to sweep that thing under the rug as quickly as possible, but I don't really see how that's going to happen now that it's a national case.
Yeah, she backtracked. She apologized in her own, little Lori Lightfoot way. You know what I mean? So in that vein, she's trying to take the heat up off her, but I hope they apply more pressure. You know what I mean? I hope they apply more pressure.
Yeah, no, you got to continue to apply the pressure to her because clearly she's already shown you that if she could have it her way, she'd bury this thing. Nobody would ever hear about it. Nobody would ever saw the tapes. Nobody would ever knew, right? This lady filed her FOIA request, and y'all said no, right? And then you presented with the fact that she filed for her FOIA request, and y'all said no. And you like, oh, no, to my understanding, I don't think that's what. Fuck your understanding. Okay, this ain't about your understanding. This is about what actually happened and the fact that you are the mayor of the city that it happened in.
Yeah. And what Keenan said about Cobra, they had 13 months to interview every officer that has some months left over. You on bullshit. Let's get it.
What we waiting on? What
Stop all the lies.
What are we
shit.
playing for, right?
But that's the legal game in general, though, right? They usually just wait people out.
Yeah.
Right? And because we're poor, we can't wait.
We can't wait.
You're right. We can't
We got
keep
more
fighting.
bread to wait
We can't
on this for
keep
y'all.
calling off from work. We can't play the game. Right. And that's legitimately how it's the same way America fights wars, though.
Yeah.
Right? We fight wars like
Of
wars
attrition.
of attrition.
Yeah,
just
we
keep
got
throwing
more
shit
people
out.
to die than
we
you
got
got.
more. Yeah, we got more time to wait this shit out than you do. That's it. It's not about strategy.
No, we can
It's
throw
really
more
not
soldiers
about
at this thing
skill.
than you can.
It's just I just got more than you got. That's really how we fight it.
Yeah, that's really what it boils down to, and they understand that, right? They understand that on every level. It don't matter if you're talking about the NBA, understanding that okay, y'all ain't gonna play today, motherfucker, y'all gonna play tomorrow, right?
That's it.
Right? We're gonna talk to who has the most to lose here. Hey, LeBron, come here. Tell them motherfuckers to play. Hey, Barack.
Go tap dance, boy.
Barack, come here. Tell them motherfuckers to play, right? So y'all cannot play
Barack,
a
go
game.
tell your little brother LeBron to play.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And then now everybody's
it's
playing.
funny. It's
Same
funny.
thing here. I think the whole fucking city should be shut down. Should nobody do shit, right? But then inevitably somebody gonna be like, man, I got bills to pay, I got kids to feed, and I understand that. I'm not, but like, you know what I'm saying? Eventually, motherfuckers gotta be like, man, fuck this shit. Ain't nothing moving until this shit's solved. But they understand that we don't have that luxury.
That's true. But again, that's the conversation we had earlier about even with the settlement, why we usually take the settlements instead of fighting the system. You know what I mean? I'd have to assume that somebody is mad at the goddamn system, madder at the system than just wanting to get some money. You know what I mean? But when you start looking at our financial situation, it's like, what do I do? Right? Do I risk?
300,000 would at least double, more than double, 99% of our population. You know what I'm saying?
The incomes, for sure. For sure. I get it. I surely get it. And 300,000 is a low number. So, I'm sure you're talking to the Benjamin Crumps of the world. They're telling you what I just saw in the comments. He usually sells for $3 to $5 million. So you do the math on that. He going to get that high 33% off the top, off the rip.
Right.
And you in the game in a way you ain't never been in the game. You know what I mean? And it's a decision you got to make, right? Am I really this mad, or do I want to send
So let me ask you this.
Lil J Maul to college.
The same thing I always say all the time about the pharmaceutical companies, right? If I am a drug dealer, if that is how I make my bread, I have no interest, right? I'm talking about big pharmaceuticals, right? Pfizer and the like. I have no interest in people being healthy. You know what I'm saying? I have no interest in people not being sick. So if I'm Benjamin Crump and I eat off civil rights cases and unarmed black people being killed and harmed, do I have any real interest in that shit stopping? I'll show up and beat the drum every time. That's my job. Do I have any real interest in that stopping? If nobody else get killed by police for the rest of the year, nobody gonna see my face no more. I don't have an easy $1 million check to cash, right? Do I really want this shit to stop? Is that really in my best interest?
Not in your best financial interest, no. But Benjamin Crump is black too. Benjamin Crump is black too, right? He's bald headed, he's tall, he's dark skinned.
Yeah.
Right? Riding down one of them southern streets at night, you can get mistaken for Jamal Jackson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it depends. I don't like putting that on. I don't like making those kind of blanket statements.
I'm just asking. I'm asking a question.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I'm not going to answer that question in that way. He could be mistaken as Jamal Jackson, and Jamal Jackson's going to get treated differently than Benjamin Crump. It's a story that we've heard with police officers that just happen to be out of uniform, right? They get treated differently than they would be getting treated if they were in a uniform. So I would hope that we would come to all of these conversations.
Oh, he can't stop it. I'm not suggesting that he could.
Yeah, I would hope that we come to all these conversations with, a different measuring stick than just how much money I can get out of it, right? Or we need to rectify the situation. You know what I mean? We are living here. We are setting the foundation for the next generations. That's really our journey. I don't care how much money you do or don't get during this lifespan. The real value asset in this journey of life is to prepare the walk or the path for the next generation.
Did I push the ball further?
That has
down
to be
the road?
Did I push the ball further down?
You know what I'm saying?
Did I advance our society, our ethnic group, our culture further down the road for the next generation?
Is it better than it was when I got here?
That's it. That's
it.
That's all we can hope.
That's really the barometer of whether or not you lived a successful life, in my opinion.
That's it.
Now, in other people's opinions, and I understand and I don't knock it, that may be merely that barometer may simply be about how many zeros at the end of my bank account did I leave with.
It might be. It might
be. If that's cool, if that's what you want, I'm not even here to argue with you on that. You know what I'm saying? I am here to say,
hey, I'm fully with changing the policy before securing the bag. I'm fully with that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I'm fully with that. But
I appreciate that. We got to see what that looks
specifically
like.
To the Benjamin Crump conversation. Who knows how he's coming to the conversation? Who knows what his mindset is?
100%.
I hope he's operating in the purity of being on the righteous end of the conversation.
I hope so too.
You know what I mean?
I hope so too. But
he secures the bag a lot.
He secures the bag a lot. He pops up at a lot of Black Death. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
hey man.
Whatever, man.
Listen. Hey, man, Black Death is a hustle, man. You saw the Black Lives Matter numbers?
It's big business.
It's big business, baby.
It's big business, and they getting it on every end, right? They're not only getting it on who died, they getting it on who did it, right? And if it's us, right? You know what I'm saying? They getting it coming and going, man. We are going away for 24 hours. We'll be back here for 21 hours, I should say. We'll be back in 21 hours. We'll be back tomorrow at 3 o'clock for a Relationship Friday discussion. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to this Thursday edition of I Said What I Said. Special thanks to attorney Keenan Salter for joining us and bringing us the very latest on the case of Anjanette Young. as she pursues her civil case with the city of Chicago and the Chicago Police Department. Thank y'all so much for contributing y'all's information, y'all knowledge, and y'all opinion on the conversation. As always, it was valued. It was certainly appreciated. Wake up early tomorrow with the Mace Jackson Show, 6 a.m. and then stick.
You mean the Ruthie Moore Show? God damn.
Definitely.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Damn.
I'm sorry. You're right.
Jesus.
My bad. Hey,
You've
Flo,
been
can
in
you remind us
Bolingbrook.
like 30 seconds? The Ruthie Moore Show.
Right. Tune in tomorrow for the Ruthie Moore Show.
Tomorrow for the Ruthie Moore Show. And then stick around for the Book of Dawn. Hang out for Muwai Kills World. And then kick it on the soil with the bigs. Then we back here at 3 o'clock, man. Till then, y'all be good to each other. Peace.
Assalamu alaikum.